at some of this soreness pops back up. And then last night, you put yourself in a situation. And the Raptors, let me start here. The Raptors, that was atrocious. I mean, that is reprehensible. They really needed that game. They're trying to stay out of the play.
If that was a game that was going to result in both coaches getting
fired. They were trying. Seriously, neither team did what they were supposed to do, because the Raptors, they're fighting to stay out of that play, and they're only a game out of the play. And so let me start there. The Raptors played like garbage. They had a bunch of injuries, to be fair, but Scotty Barnes did play. They had a bunch of injuries, but on the Kings side of things, I would be asking, if it were my money, and it's not, I would be asking, what exactly are we trying to accomplish here? And you put yourself in a situation, and in part, maybe those that are no longer making basketball decisions were making basketball decisions, because the Kings have put themselves in a position. Whitey, the Kings are just like me. I celebrated, my birthday month is over, but I celebrated. I had the week before my birthday. I had the day before my birthday. I had my actual birthday. I had the week after my birthday. Sure. I had all that. That's what the Kings got going on. There's a Russ homecoming. There's a Russ revenge game. There's a Russ record. There's a DeMar DeRozan homecoming. There's a DeMar DeRozan homecoming to Toronto. There's a DeMar DeRozan record.
Any number of revenge games.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
So they've put themselves in a position where it's, I honestly think after that game ended, DeMar's in a position, Whitey, I can't keep up. I'm not being disrespectful. There's another record that I think DeMar is also close to. Somebody said 38 points, whatever the heck it is.
I think Oscar Robertson is next in line.
Something like that. So you put yourself in this position and you play silly games. Hopefully you don't end up winning a silly prize in that 7th pick. But I would be asking, I would call Scott Perry into the office, and I would call Doug Christie into the office, and I would call BJ into the office, and I would say, what exactly are we doing here?
Yeah. By the way, to your point, actually, as of right now, if you check the NBA standings, for what it's worth, Philadelphia is in the top 6, and the Raptors, though they have the same record, they would be in the play-in.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was a bad
loss. It was a bad loss. Let's
them.
Start there.
I know a lot of people are saying, what is Coach Christie doing? He's got to be on board with the tank. I can't imagine that he's doing something contrary to the organization's plans. We've talked about this before. It's not a matter of a rogue coach, especially a coach who, wants to be back next year. He's not going to, screw them. Right. Watch this.
No.
If coach is doing this, it has to be something that the organization's on board with.
Yes.
Should they be on board with it? I don't know. Now, you have people that say, I want them to win. I think winning's better. It's better for the culture. You have people that say, no, you should lose games. What are you doing? You want to improve your odds. Both those camps, I understand. The one camp right now, Alan, that drives me nuts is the camp that, well, what difference does it make? Nothing you can do anyway. You might as well win. Have you heard that? There's some that would say, you can't really control it. You don't know what pick you're going to get, so you just have to take your chances.
No, I saw something.
You have to. If you're concerned about that, you have to do what you can to improve your odds. That's what the good teams have done.
Yeah, I saw a back and forth yesterday, and it was the idea of, well, it's not necessarily about getting a top 4 pick. It's about picking the best player. Well,
there you go.
What if the best player is within the first 4?
What gives you the better chance of getting the better player?
Exactly. And then somebody said, well, the reality is throughout however many years, the best player in these drafts have been picks 1 through 4.
Right.
So I don't really know. There's just a level of cope, and everybody wants to have a different take. But the bottom line is this. The Kings, that was a silly win. And if this is their ode to, there's been 8,000 odes. There was an ode in LA. Now there's an ode in Toronto. That's what I'm saying. There's just been too many of these celebrations now.
You're saying too many odes can be odious.
And hopefully they're not. Hopefully the Kings still get lucky. But yesterday, Toronto Raptors, that was atrocious, number 1. But number 2, I'm just not sure. Again, everybody out there, And it feels like we haven't really battled with too many listeners lately about, well, this is good for the team. I mean, look, Neek didn't play great. That's what I care about. I don't care. Maxime, I'll tell you this much. Maxime wants to sniff that first team all-rookie. He better walk into Russell Westbrook's locker room.
What you say about the Western Conference Rookie of the Month,
That's true. But with that being said, I'm sending a text to Russell Westbrook right now. Broski, I need you, the Brody, I need you to come back because he is not the same person without Russell Westbrook. But besides that, that's the type of stuff that I care about. That's the type of stuff that fans should care about. Not necessarily the fact that they won a random game in Toronto on the back of DeMar DeRozan and everybody's boy. How about this? Oh, Precious Achiuwa. We got to bring back Precious Achiuwa. Great. You're going to have to bring him back because of Precious Achiuwa, you're going to get the 8th pick. How about that?
Well, I'll tell you what. As you probably know, anybody who pays any attention to this, one of the top 3 spots in the lottery is probably out of reach for the Kings now.
Yes. And the Pacers lost last night.
Yeah. So you got 17 wins, 18 wins, 18 wins, and the Kings at 20. Utah is still in play. You could actually slide to 5th. But clearly, we can agree, disagree. Clearly, Alan, it's not a priority for the Kings.
It's not.
Clearly, it's not.
Sometimes it's been when they've decided, hey, so-and-so is not going to play against the Nets or whatever it is.
But, down the stretch here where it all is, it's like losing time. Magic used to call the end of games winning time.
Right.
This is losing time.
No, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
The Kings are not concerned with that.
What it is, I think in their mind, same as the Clippers situation. Hey, there are going to be games where we want to let these guys just do their thing. I think in their mind, DeMar, and now that Nets game is gone, right? They found a way to lose to the Nets. Now that's gone. Mm-hmm. I think they felt as if, hey, DeMar could go off, do his thing, and we're probably still going to lose because the Raptors are a playoff team. But I told Jay when we were reading off the injury report, there's enough action here. I don't know everything about the Raptors, but there's enough missing in action here that the Kings could mess around if you let DeMar be DeMar, and that's exactly what happened.
Jay, is that true? Did he actually say that yesterday?
Yeah, he's overselling it, but no, he said
No. I got on. I posted on Twitter.
Yeah, he did.
I posted on Twitter. I said
so invested into the last 5 games.
Yeah.
So you know what? Hey, whatever will be. But don't come at it with the idea of, well, you got to get the best pick. Well, what if the best pick is in the top 4 and you're out of it? Now, ultimately, we can't control anything, and that's a kind of a different conversation. Okay, then don't even speak on it then, if that's the case. If your thought process is we can't control it, we might as well see what happens anyway, then what are we talking about?
Right. And then people who say that, if you don't end up with a great pick, they'll say, see, but it's just, it's ignorant. Mm-hmm. You might as well give yourself the best odds you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no guarantee. I know, but, well, it doesn't matter.
It kind of does.
That's like saying, hey, everything in life is 50-50.
Right.
Either it's going to happen or it isn't.
Right.
Well, that's just not true.
Right. What if you just went through life like that? And people kind of go back and forth with what you can control and what you can't control. You can apply somewhere and say, I can't control whether I get the job or not, but you can control how your resume looks.
Right. Yes. Well said.
You can control how you went about it. You can't control whether they pick you or not, but you can control what you wear, how you act, how your LinkedIn profile and your resume looks, and then you give yourself the best chance.
Mm-hmm. I just don't want to be like Alan. As you know, we used to have a little dachshund, long-haired dachshund named Reddy, and we inherited the dog, and I thought dachshunds, and I didn't have any idea how tough they are. Right. He was a tough little dog. Mm-hmm. Towards the end of his time with us, he used to go in the backyard and he would just bark at the wind. Okay. And I think he knew, I was like, and we had a good time, a long time with Reddy, but he used to bark at the wind, or whatever he was barking at, and I feel like Reddy barking at the wind when I'm saying they should lose these games. They don't feel that way, so that's not going to happen.
Sure.
Yeah. You made a case eloquently. You're right. At the same time, they're not buying into that. That's just not where it is. But I will tell you this, watching the game last night, one takeaway I had, I really think that since DeMar DeRozan has been here with the Kings, I don't know that they've ever really used him properly. And you saw last night, that's how he needs to be used. The guy on the offense room. We've seen a little bit of it here and a little bit of it there. down the stretch last year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
When they brought him in, they brought him in to kind of help out De'Aaron and Sabonis. And remember, he got here, and I'm not sure that Coach Brown knew what to do with him, and they didn't run much offense through him. He was kind of a third option, defensively not a good offensive player. Then they trade De'Aaron. I'm not saying they should have, but they did. Then, all right, so now is it DeMar DeRozan time? No, you bring in Zach LaVine. That didn't work either. Last night, it's like, that's how, if he's on your team, that's how you have to use him.
Yeah.
And I don't think they ever realized that.
Yeah, I mean, again, it all still connects back to De'Aaron Fox and bringing in Zach LaVine, because remember when the argument was, or not the argument, but the selling point was, whoa, now the Kings have two closers. Yeah. How are you going to stop them at the end of games? Well, the game ain't close, so you don't need a closer.
They kind of stop
you're right. If you're down 15, you're not doing much closing.
Right.
So that's been tough, Whitey. And
if you have two closers, maybe you don't have one.
I was going to say, it's the same thing as if you got two quarterbacks, you don't have one. And, there's probably some truth to what you said. If you surrounded DeMar with a bunch of 3-and-D guys, right, and, you can still have Sabonis out there. It is what it is. Maybe we could have seen at least some more entertaining basketball, right? Some young 3-and-D. If you kept Keon, and we're going to talk about Keon later as far as why the Kings might have found a new Keon, but Keon...
You're really hot on that, aren't you?
Oh, I am. And I think people are going to either love it or cuss me out. And, that makes me even happier.
I can't decide which side I'm on.
Oh, I can't
Obviously,
wait.
I will support you.
No. If you need to do what you need to do, that's what it is. That's 4:30, everybody. But some Keegans, right? If Keegan unyips and he's able to shoot the basketball, then we could have seen some things, right? But that's not the direction they went in. They went with the Frankenstein approach, and it has been Frankenstein. And now they're, winning some games. And I keep telling you, Whitey, this thing is not over yet. And I'm not gonna bang the drum, lose. Do whatever you want to do. They've already beat the Clippers before. Mm-hmm. Okay, the Pelicans. I don't know how the Pelicans keep owning the Kings. I get scared every time they're on.
It's just a bad matchup.
Yeah. Well, I get scared every time they're on the schedule. And then, like I said, you got those two games against the Warriors. Are you seeing who the LJ Cryer?
I turned it on last night. They were losing by 19, late in the second quarter, whatever it was. Like, oh my goodness.
No. You don't understand what's going on.
Isn't LJ Cryer the guy that was on, what's the show with Charlie Sheen? The sitcom?
What? 2.5 Men?
Yeah. Was that LJ Cryer?
Listen to this from Dalton Johnson. Okay. This is insane. The Warriors this is from last night. The Warriors are so thin and injury depleted that Malavi Leons took a free throw left-handed tonight. He hurt his wrist 2 weeks ago, and the Warriors badly need any bodies they can get. Impressive toughness by Leons to even be out there.
I'm sorry, who now?
I don't know. And he's not healthy. Whitey, he's dribbling with his... Whitey, you have to see this. It's insane. So the Kings could easily beat the Warriors, at least one of those two games. I know Steph is supposed to come back Easter Sunday, on Sunday. But even still, you never know.
The funny thing is the Kings now, when they play a team like that, it almost seems like they're the predator. They smell blood in the water.
Right.
Like, we're going to take care of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Defer and DeMar... He's gone. Mm-hmm. He's gone.
Dominant DeMar.
Dominant DeMar is here to stay. And you know what? It's fine. I'm at peace with it. It is what it is. But, hopefully there doesn't have to be any spin. But if they end up with the 7th pick and whoever has the second or third worst odds gets the first or second pick or even third pick, I think they're going to have to answer questions to the fan base because it truly didn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. And we're going to get into why they might be approaching it that way based on what their owner said not too long ago.
Now, anytime the Kings play the Raptors, I can't help but look at the Raptors and think what could have been, what still might be, right? We know that we're talking with them about a Pirtle deal with Sabonis going there and R.J. Barrett coming back. We don't know if they're going to resume those talks. We don't know how far they got. But I'll tell you this, R.J. Barrett.
Not for you. I thought he played well.
He does a lot of things pretty well. Mm-hmm. Nothing great.
Yeah.
And he's a nice player. He was probably drafted way higher than he should have been. I'm not saying I don't like him. I just, if he's a guy like, we've always loved this guy. Let's bring him in. I just don't think he makes much of a difference. He can score a little bit, not a great shooter. He can distribute a little bit, turns the ball over. He's just kind of
He's a tweener.
Jack of many trades. He's a pretty good player.
Yeah.
But I don't see him really as being much of a difference maker.
No.
So, when we were having the conversations about a potential deal, it seemed like maybe he was being trumped up as this is a key guy coming back we can build around. I don't think he is.
Yeah, I don't know where that leap is. He's 25 years old, so it's definitely possible. But you have to see flashes. And again, we don't watch the Toronto Raptors every night. We had on, a Raptors play-by-play or Raptors beat writer, and they said, RJ Barrett is a huge part of winning basketball. And I don't doubt it, but Scotty Barnes is their guy. Again, you don't have RJ Barrett as your guy. You have Scotty Barnes.
By the way,
as your
Pirtle
guy.
actually did some.
I thought he played well
last night.
Yeah, 18.
Good looking kid, too.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with that.
I wonder if the Raptors had it to do over again. Well, Pirtle's got he's got a black eye.
Yeah.
Band-Aid on there. I wonder if the Rappers would have pushed harder for that trade because they're, as you said, they're sliding out of the top 6 in the East right now. Mm-hmm. Their season second half hasn't gone the way they'd hoped.
No, and clearly they've been, kind of messed up by injuries. You didn't have a Brandon Ingram, and that Brandon Ingram trade is always going to be a head scratcher to me because on top of the fact that he is kind of a midi merchant, he also, doesn't have that much on him. Probably could use a double-double from in and out or a couple of them. He doesn't stay on the floor too much. It feels like he's always dinged up a little bit. They traded for him last season. He didn't even play or something like that. He's out tonight. I don't know how many games he's missed. All I know is he's a guy that you're always checking to make sure, are you playing tonight?
Yeah.
Doesn't play last night. Bad loss. And that's the type of stuff that can flip a season as, we're going to do okay without Masai Ujiri. We're taking a leap. I mean, did Grady Dick even play? He was just on the bench.
He did.
I just saw him on the bench.
By the way, logical Raptors fanatic pushing back. Thank you for being with us as always, LRF. RJ is elite at rim pressure. He gets into the paint like it's nothing. Yeah, I think attacking the rim, playing downhill is his one greatest skill, and it's not fair to cherry pick, but I will anyway. Last night in a game, key situation, he gets into the paint and he hooked Meek, and he falls down and he throws it out of bounds, and we're going the other way, offensive foul.
Well, again, he's their third option, right? Last night he was their second option, and they lost to one of the worst teams in the league. When you have Brandon Ingram.
Don't you think that they were a little taken aback by the level of competition they got from the Kings?
Oh yeah. But we've seen this.
They went on that massive run, and I thought, all right, we're good.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not quitting.
But they were missing their guys. It's a bad loss. Don't get me wrong. But normally when teams get this, you know what this was, Whitey? This was a carbon copy game of the Clippers. When they beat the Clippers thought we were just going to roll the ball out and be able to rock and roll, and that wasn't the case. The Kings, they've been playing with this group for a while now. They know what they can do. Precious Achiuwa putting up 28 points. DeMar, 28 points.
How many rebounds did Precious have? 19.
Yeah, that's crazy.
19
I mean, that
caroms.
is insane.
It is.
So, they're going to sneak up on some teams, and I keep telling you, again, I know that the Raptors have been a bad matchup, the Pelicans have been a bad matchup, but now, Whitey, it's a matter of who's playing. Who's playing for the Clippers at this point? The Clippers had a bad loss earlier this week. I know it was a tough opponent. I can't remember who. But the Clippers, it was a national game, and they got hit. Oh, it was the Blazers. They lost by 10 to the Blazers. So the Kings have already beat the Clippers before. So, look, we just have to be at peace with it. It is what it is.
I think so.
And Mother's Day.
And hopefully it works out.
Go get a nice brunch, and take care of who you need to take care of, and just pray.
Well, mom. I mean, you need to take care of mom.
Well, I mean, you're a mom. Your wife is a mother, whatever it is. Take care of the whole crew. Your sister's a mother, whatever it is. Take care of the whole crew and let the odds, what is it, Hunger Games, may the odds be in your favor.
Do you remember that realization going down your spine like a bead of cold sweat when you first realized, Mother's Day, my wife's a mom now.
Yeah.
I'm responsible.
That's
to
right.
do something about that. I hadn't thought of that.
And how are you prioritizing it? Because I know what Jay's going to say. We already talked about Valentine's, right? But are you going harder for your significant other or if you're married, your wife on her birthday or Mother's Day?
Well, it's a whole different thing. Birthday, Mother's Day is you just got to make sure that you have done everything you can to assemble the family.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing.
Right.
You got to be sensitive to, okay, what is it that she's actually is expecting and looking for here? Mm-hmm. So that's okay. Yeah.
Birthday, it's more, you got to take more time on the birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Mother's Day, hey, here's a brunch. Don't do anything.
Right.
You don't really need to give a gift on Mother's Day, right? Like, not a big gift.
Not necessarily.
Right.
I wouldn't think.
But you got to make up for it for her birthday.
Yes.
It's also chronological. What? Mother's Day's in May. So
birthdays are different times a year.
But I'm saying.
Not every mother has the same birthday.
But if you have enough time in between, then that matters, right? Because I got May and then November. So I got to come correct because that's enough time. I'd prefer.
Good spacing, though.
I'd prefer a May and June because maybe, Jay, I could go a little collaboration sensation.
Sure hoping Mr. Styles ain't listening.
Maybe we can just, combine a little bit.
Do that to your child. Don't do that to your wife.
A little combination.
Children get too much as it is anyway. So, it's like they spoil you.
Honey, I thought we'd just combine them.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
what I was about to say, brother.
What about anniversary, Valentine's? We could just throw them all in a pile, right?
Maybe that one.
Okay, thank you. Because, I'm trying to consolidate.
Some people do get married on Valentine's Day.
See? I just need a consolidation situation.
Jeremy Woo has a story out today about draft prospects and where anonymous execs think they're going to go. We'll talk about that. I just wanted to take a peek back real quick here because there we think we know everything about these players, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, we know all about them, how good they're going to be. Let's just go back to Jeremy Woo, January 13th. New prospects among first-round picks. And this is just one guy, but this is close to a consensus. Let's just see back in January who the top picks were expected to be. Number 1, Darren Peterson. Number 2, A.J. DeBonsa. Number 3, Cam Boozer. Number 4, Caleb Wilson. All right, that's, A.J. is probably number 1 now. But all right, that's pretty much where we are now.
Right.
Number 5, Kingston Flemings. Number 6, Mikael Brown Jr. Number 7, Nate Ament. Number 8, Jaden Quaintance. Jeremy Woo's
Kentucky?
list.
Yeah.
Yes. Number 9, Darius Acuff Jr. Number 10, Thomas Haw, Florida. 11th, Yaxel Lindeborg. 12th, Braylon Mullins. 13th, Bennett Sturts. 14, Koa Pete. 15, LeBaron Fallon. And 16, Chris Senack. 17, Ngonba. And 18, Keaton Wagler.
18.
January 13th, Jeremy Woo listed Keaton Wagler as the 18th best prospect.
In January.
Yes.
Ridiculous. Look, hey, a lot can happen in a couple months, Whitey.
I know. Who knows what it's all going to look like once the season starts next year.
I mean, if Illinois balls out again, you never know. Mm-hmm. You never know.
By the way, our guy Kareem Lopez was 20th at that time.
And he probably hasn't moved too much because playing overseas. I mean, even Kristen said normally I get overseas, but there's really only one guy with everything that's going on in college. He's probably, I can't really call him slept on, but he's the guy not a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah. I was looking at Caleb Wilson film today. I know you do that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, whoever gets him, if they play North Carolina Central, they're going to kill him.
See, what are you trying to say?
Well, just all the highlights I saw, I was like, man, what a play. Who are they playing? They're playing North Carolina Central.
Go look at the game against Duke.
They're playing Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Go look at the game against Duke.
No, I like him. It's not his fault. He didn't compile his mixtape.
Yeah, I do pay attention to that, though.
Yeah.
Because early in the season, everybody's trying to get it on YouTube. Everybody's trying to get the clicks. So when they have these invitationals and they're paying these teams $500K to get their butts whooped, that's where they're cooking at the beginning. Mm-hmm. And some of them subside and some of them keep it going.
Raiders got a new backup QB. You like that, Alan? What does a Raider fan think of that? Frank Caliendo today. Also today, Jim Duquette's going to join us. Glad you're with us. Good to be back on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're serious about getting better at golf, start with The Fit. At Hagen Oaks, everything begins with Total Game Fitting. The TrackMan Player Performance Studio analyzes your swing to match you with the right clubs. Ping's Ballnamic Fitting helps you find the golf ball for your game. The Hagen Oaks Putter Fitting Studio helps you roll it true. And with FootJoy's 3D foot scanner, you'll walk the course in shoes that actually fit. From driver to putter and even what's on your feet, Hagen Oaks fits every part of your game. Total Game Fitting, only at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
To infinity and the ballpark. Join the Sacramento Rivercats for Toy Story Night on Saturday, April 11th, and then bring your best furry friend to bark in the park on Sunday, April 12th at Sutter Health Park. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert, John Party, Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with N&S Tractor and Case Construction and Courtyard by Marriott Sacramento Cal Expo. More info at CITBFest.com.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Your Toyota's been through a lot with you. Traffic, rain, potholes, you name it. But it keeps showing up, mile after mile. So maybe it's time to give a little back. For a limited time at your local Toyota dealer, get 3 new tires and get the 4th for $1. Because a ride that's always there for you deserves to be taken care of. 3 tires, get the 4th for $1? Go on. Treat your Toyota. Deal ends April 30th. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Restrictions apply. Toyota and Scion vehicles only. See participating Toyota dealers for details.
Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Oh, yeah, looking forward
Sports 1140.
to talking with Alan about his Giants. They're playing a little better. A lot of drama surrounding that team right now.
I wouldn't say a lot. It's just baseball. It's just
is that
baseball.
all it is?
Yeah. It's
yeah,
just
we'll get to all that.
Any competitor knows what's going on with them, okay?
They had a good series, right? In
Yeah.
San Diego.
That's right.
Yeah.
Solid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but they wanted more. I appreciate it. They wanted the sweep. Go get the sweep. Catch the ball.
That's right.
Catch the ball. How about that?
I know FP said that should be a T-shirt.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. Your guy, FP.
Yeah, I guess.
He doesn't know it, but your guy, FP.
I guess. Speaking of, another one of our guys is going to join us today at 5. Frank Caliendo.
That's right.
Going to be on the show.
Yeah, and you've been doing a lot of, politicking and navigating and just coordinating these impression off. I'm in these group chats. What's going on here?
I think that it's kind of a hidden talent of yours, and I can tell from the way you've talked about it that you think you got game.
When have I talked about it?
A little bit, and I'm not accusing you of anything. I can tell by the way you've said, I should host Saturday Night Live. And
that's not me saying I can do impressions.
But I've heard, I think you can. And I'm not like trying to like, oh, watch this. I'm trying to say, yeah, go get it, Alan.
I don't even have
a great
list.
Opportunity for you.
Like Chris Watkins has Jay-Z. That's another name. I would say what? Trump, Stephen A., Jay-Z. Everyone's got those, right? If you do impressions, you got those in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think who else. DMX.
Well, you can always just say, look, I don't want any part of it. Whitey volunteered me, but I'm not volunteering
I don't even know
myself.
what is actually happening. I don't think anything's happening. Dave said no. They chickened out.
Well, it sounds like it was on both sides of the fence that we had a little buck.
I didn't know anything till I walked in today.
You don't have to do it. I think you'd be great at it.
Do what?
An impression. You do one for...
To who? When?
When Frank's on. Maybe
today?
When Frank's on today.
I'm not doing one in front of Frank.
Okay. We'll see if they when he's in next week with them, maybe they'll do one for him and then it'll be on you.
Sure.
Yeah. So
they get first serve.
Yeah.
They're the morning show.
Sure.
They have Frank on every other week. so they can start it off.
Yeah. You know, the worst thing about doing impressions, you were talking about how everyone now does, you name 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing is when you do one, especially if it's like really good.
Yeah.
And then after a while, it's like no one knows who that person is.
Yeah.
Or heaven forbid, they die. Although in some cases, like, that's okay.
Right.
You can still do it.
Yeah. I think when we were watching clips of Frank before the show, he talked about how there's certain impressions that he has, but he can't lock into it every time. I think that's what it is for me. If I'm in the zone, there's some that I'll nail, but I don't know how to get back there, right? If I'm in a flow state, I can get there, but I can't just, hey, do it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like one shot, right?
Right.
You either hit it, yeah, I'm good, or nope, missed.
No.
I'm out.
Right.
Can't do it.
Or I had it a couple days ago. I can't. It's like Mike with the shoes. You know what I mean? I had the shoes, and now it's not working.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to work out for you. I got your back with this. I know you could say, what is he doing? Why is he shoving me out into this?
I don't understand.
I think it'll be great for you.
Okay.
We'll see how they play it next week.
We'll see how they play.
Yeah.
They're going to be in studio.
Yeah. I believe that's the plan. Although I don't think Dave will be in studio, but I could be wrong about that.
I mean, Dave, we don't know.
But he did. Yeah, I texted him today with this idea during one of their commercial breaks, because I know they're doing a show, and he comes on. Well, why he's texting me? I don't know.
He's distracting me.
Yeah.
I need to talk about my cookies.
But, it was a very eventful morning. I know Dave had a lot to talk about, including the news that your Raiders have a new quarterback.
That's right.
How you feeling about it?
With one of the most confusing deals I think we've seen in recent memory. It sounds a lot more daunting, or I guess bigger than it actually is. I've seen people say that it's a great deal. I've seen people say that it's a bit of a confusing deal. In reality, it is a 1-year, fully guaranteed $20 million deal that contains a club option for 2 years at $80 million. And once again, Jay, we talk about collecting them checks. Who is Kirk Cousins' agent? I need to know. Who is Kirk Cousins'
I'm not
agent?
sure he has one, does he?
Oh, my goodness.
Doesn't he do his own deals?
Whoever needs, doesn't need a raise. He keeps giving himself a raise.
Yeah.
But it seems pretty safe for the Raiders. And this is something that they've talked about before. Kubiak is big on this. I know some fans don't like it, but, this is how they are going about it. SpyTech is in on it as well. And I don't know, guys, I'm almost getting a bit uncomfortable.
Really?
Because in my lifetime, the Raiders have never made this much sense. And, Fernando Mendoza has a great pro day. He's shaking hands. They go out, shaking hands with all the Raiders brass. They're about to have dinner, I think, at some point this week. He is with the Raiders. I don't know. It feels like everything makes too much sense and everything is working out too well. It's almost making me uncomfortable.
Well, as far as the financials go, Falcons pay Cousins $8.7 million this season. Raiders add another $1.3 million. And the Raiders also agreed to pay their new quarterback a fully guaranteed $10 million roster bonus on the third day of the 2027 new league year. So there's your $20 million. And Adam Schefter says this sets another mark. This will be the 11th straight NFL season in which Cousins' contract will be fully guaranteed.
Real fast, we had this conversation, I think, last year with the Falcons, and I asked the same question, Alan. Who in the hell is Kirk Cousins' agent? He's the best agent in the NFL. I don't need to hear about nobody else, no Wasserman, nobody. It's Mike McCartney. I looked it up last year because I said, I need to find out who I need to go sign with.
Yeah.
Mike McCartney.
It's ridiculous. Yep. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him.
As far as the football goes, how you feeling about it? Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Fernando's doing all the right things. If you want to go, I don't know if the Raiders truly believe that they're going to be in a position to contend this season. That would be quite the quick turnaround. I just think they want to be respectable. So if you want to give a couple weeks to Kirk Cousins to let Fernando understand how the system works, how the schedule works, everything like that, I'm good with it. You know, I'm good with it. Everybody's going to be clamoring for it. The one thing I will say, guys, is we saw this in Atlanta where, look, Atlanta was more confusing because they paid Kirk all that money, but it almost feels like Kirk Cousins is the type of guy that is a competitor, and we like to see that, but he's not going into it. I don't know if Kirk's going into it thinking, yeah, I'll just be the bridge for a couple weeks, right? And he shouldn't, because these guys are hyper competitive. You know, catch the bleeping ball. And and I think Kirk Cousins is probably coming into it thinking, I want to at least get one more season out of it. And I understand that's the way to approach it, but I don't know how much Kirk Cousins is going to be on board with being a bridge quarterback, even though he is obviously a bridge quarterback.
Yeah, is he going to be the Bay Bridge or is he going to be the old Carquinas?
That's right. Yeah.
And do you really want a quarterback mentoring your future franchise guy, a quarterback who says, Tuesdays I'm off.
Yeah.
Tuesdays I ain't coming in.
Well, he's in a different, he can still text Mendoza, this is what you should be doing. I'm not doing it, but this is what you should be doing at your age.
Yeah. I'm not a big Cousins guy because I just think, frankly, he's kind of a weirdo. But football-wise, I mean, he's just...
What do you mean?
He's kind of a weirdo, but he's very smart.
Yeah.
He's not, physically he's worn down since he hurt his knee, which I think affected his arm. But football-wise, it's hard to find much fault with this.
No,
it makes a lot of sense.
It's fine. And look, what was the math? The Raiders are really only giving him $11 million, right? So there's not much to be upset about. I know, obviously, when they call Fernando's name, everybody's going to want to see him week one. Maybe that's still how it goes down, but it feels like the Raiders, they have a plan in place, and it doesn't make a ton of sense to deviate from that plan. And, there's another Ferrari in the garage, Whitey, just like with Derek Carr. Got to let the Ferrari out, baby.
So you're actually uncomfortable because of how good you feel about the Raiders. That's interesting.
Yes, because normally, I mean, like I said, I was 12 when they went to the Super Bowl, and after that, it's been a bunch of nothingness outside of 2016. So I'm not used to this. Now, obviously, they're a ways away from truly competing, but I mean, if the Broncos could turn it around this quick, and I think Fernando's going to be better than Bo Nix, so anything's possible.
It just makes sense, right? The moves they're making, you don't have to sit there and stretch and try to imagine, well, I guess that makes sense if this is what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah, I get it.
If they turn it around, and I'm not saying a Super Bowl, but if they turn it around and they're in the playoffs year after year, I don't know what the Chargers are doing. They, when are they going to take that next step?
What's the term for that? Sustained competitiveness?
Yes.
I've heard that somewhere.
Yes. Sustained success, or whatever you want to call it. Does this put Tom Brady in a different level of GOATness? Because who else has done this? Michael Jordan tried to do it with the Hornets, didn't work out, right? If you look at some of these, and I know LeBron is going to attempt to do it on some level. If you look at these, top athletes, best of their craft, and then they dip into the other side of it, the GM world, whatever it is.
Aren't you forgetting John Lynch? Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm
Incredibly
talking
successful GM.
I'm talking.
No, you're right. I mean,
I'm talking a
Tom
different
Brady's
level.
running the show.
Yes.
And John Lynch still is taking marching orders from Kyle.
Well, no. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying from when they were playing. Like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, he ran over to NASCAR, and he's been successful in NASCAR, but Michael Jordan tried to do it in basketball. It didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't necessarily seen
Jerry
LeBron
West.
do it. Jerry West is a good shout, but does that put Tom in a different category? Joe Montana.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I was thinking something. Never mind. I withdraw the comment.
Whitey is coming back spicy today, Jay. Why is it, Wasabi Thursday? Whitey's coming back spicy.
Wasabi Thursday?
I'm just saying. But I don't know. Does it if Tom pulls it off and they turn into, every year? Because think about it like this. We were talking about the money side of things and how the Raiders are, I think third in the NFL now. They, making money hand over foot and all this. Mark Davis.
He's already on a level all to his own.
Well,
so, I mean,
I just think
where is there to go from there?
That's a great question. Maybe it's just a new no, this is the guy. This is the guy that not only is the best ever at what he did on the field, that he also turned a team that he owned to a certain degree on the field and turned them around after decades of nothingness.
That's a good point, but Ellen, we've danced around it long enough. We have to come back and look at what is going on with your Giants.
Okay.
Next on Sactown Sports. Combate!
Tomorrow night, Kings and Pelicans. Team night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Today is National Burrito Day, and to celebrate, Jim Boy's is selling a snack-sized Parmesan-crusted burrito called a Snackerito in 3 delicious flavors for just $4.95. Go by and visit your local Jim Boy's and enjoy today. At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Thanks again to Jay, Alan, for picking me up. Good teammates. None of that. Catch the effing ball from them. I don't get any of that from
Well, you're
them.
lucky. You must not have been listening. You must not have been listening.
I wasn't.
Well, yeah, you would have heard.
Because I figure I'm just going to listen. It's going to be great. And I'm going to feel like, well, why do I even go in? So,
yeah.
I just.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'd be the same way.
I watched some baseball yesterday and took a lot of naps. Like, I think I'll go back to bed. But I watched, I thought of you because I know you're a big superhero guy. And Tuesday, whatever it was, I watched Avengers Age of Ultron. I'd never seen it.
What'd you think?
I was better than I thought.
Yeah.
I've never seen this. I don't want to see it because I heard it's not that good. So I wasn't expecting much.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of silly, but it's like, well, all right. Yeah, that wasn't terrible. That was entertaining.
Yeah, it's necessary for the story.
Yeah.
You can't get, everybody loves Thanos, I know, but you need Ultron to get to Thanos. It's all part of it.
Right.
And now, after a couple years of, hey, we're done with that group, now here's, and they're still going to release, I know Supergirl's DC, but hey, we're going to try all these other shows. Oh, you hate them? All right. Time lapse.
Yeah.
All the guys are back.
We're bringing them all back.
They're all back.
Multiverse trick.
They were never gone. Close your eyes. Mm-hmm. And nobody's complaining. But don't get me started on Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom.
I don't have to. You just started yourself.
I just give somebody else an
Isn't he going to have a mask on?
I don't like that.
Or is it going to be a weird thing where at the end he's going to go, oh, it's Tony Stark in another universe?
I don't like that in low-budget plays. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Didn't that person, wasn't she just...
Well, you're talking about Hamilton. It drove me crazy. I was like, wait, that's the other...
I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And everyone's thinking, yes, Robert Downey's the best. No, that's Iron Man. So what are they going to do? So Iron Man's not coming. He's the one guy that didn't make it back. I hate that. Literally hate that. I don't know. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Anyway, it was enjoyable.
By the way, we were talking about, the greats and moving to the GM space. Two different texts, 530, the Dirty 530, and the 916, both saying John Elway should be a part of that conversation. Mm-hmm. You're spot on, 530 and 916.
He did
John
one thing
Elway.
Tom Brady has not done, winning as a player and as a, I don't know what his title was.
Right. And Tom isn't the GM, right? President of, he's more involved.
Things.
Yeah, he's more involved than just on the outskirts for sure. So y'all are right. Throw John Elway in there. There's only a couple GOATs. Mm-hmm. So if we're saying it's just the GOATs, it's just Michael Jordan. I just know it didn't work with MJ. And now we have Tom doing it, and Joe Montana, that's not something he's interested in doing.
It's on the board for Shaq, GM at Sac State.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the board.
That's right. Now we have to be careful here because I'm pretty sure, actually I'm positive, Shaq's son has graduated.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know how that works. I know you were talking about coaching at your daughter's schools, and they were no longer playing. I don't know what that contract looked like if Shaq's still going to be GM once his son is gone. That might have been a contingency
Something
thing.
to keep an eye on.
Yeah, he might be out of there.
Hey, look who's joining us. Speaking of superheroes, JR is with us. What's up, JR? What can we do for you?
Well, I do like the superheroes as much like the Giants. You think they're dead and they come back. They're kind of like Iron Man in a way.
That's right.
The difference is Iron Man can
sweep.
Iron Man can catch the effing ball. That's the difference.
Yes. Nothing like sweeping the Padres to make me feel better, though.
Well, when did that happen?
Because, 2-1 loss is as good as a sweep against them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I wish we could just play them every weekend. I wish we could just, that way we just go right to the top of the NL West against that lame team.
Yeah.
You talk about bringing back ugly things, De La Styles. What about brown and yellow? You going to bring back those crappy uniforms from San Diego? What were those, like Northern Mexico uniforms? I forget what they were.
Yeah, I got to send them to the showers. He was really good today on the morning show, and I forget what it was, but he was really on point. Mm-hmm. Then he just came in with sweeping the Padres.
I don't know.
They didn't. Well, they lost 2-1. No, it was 7-1.
JR.
Yeah. Not
JR.
And he had a lot to work with there, and he squandered it.
Take a lap.
Yeah.
Grab some water.
Uh-huh.
And get back on the horse tomorrow.
Yeah, and think about what you did, right? Think about what you said. And what you could have said instead.
Grind the tape, run it back, and be better tomorrow.
Ain't no Padre slander on this show right now.
Well, if you're going to have Padres slander, you need the facts correct.
Exactly.
You need the facts correct.
That's what I'm saying. He had a lot to work with there.
Yeah.
And he ignored it.
It's okay, JR.
But since he brought it up, Alan, what is going on with your club?
No, this is what I needed from the Giants. This is how you get back to the playoffs. This is how you don't allow the Reds that don't have half the payroll you have to sneak into the playoffs by holding each other accountable, okay, and by calling out malarkey. All right?
Whoa,
Casey
watch
Schmidt,
your language.
Casey Schmidt, I did the example, Whitey. He's doing the step, and he's not even looking at the ball.
That's what I noticed.
Right?
Yeah.
And look, Casey Schmidt is not a first baseman. Here's the thing. The Giants don't have a natural first baseman on the roster.
I think Baggs said that Casey Schmidt plays 4 positions, and first base is probably his 4th best position.
Yeah, and the bizarre thing about what they're saying as far as Rafael Devers is, we're slow playing him. I don't know if you saw, Rafael Devers has one of the slowest sprint speeds in Major League Baseball. He was booking it down the line because he was trying to get an infield hit. His hamstring is injured. It's one thing, like, for example, you pull your groin, you can still run in a straight line, but, stretching would be tough. It's his hamstring. So I don't know what the Giants are doing with the slow play, but he's clearly running at full speed.
Maybe he still doesn't like playing the initial sack.
Maybe not.
The keystone.
Maybe not. But as far as Matt Chapman is concerned, I love it. I don't know. I don't think Matt Chapman intended for it to get caught on TV, and it was the perfect angle to see what he said more than one time. I don't think he intended for it to be caught on camera. He said, look, it's the heat of the moment. I talked to Schmidt. We're good. And Casey Schmidt said, hey, we're just trying to win a ball game. I love it. That's the type of fire that Tony Vitello is bringing to this team. No more.
Tony Vitello had nothing to do with that.
Yes, he did.
Tony Vitello.
No, I've never seen that with Bob Melvin. Everyone's just sleepwalking around. You get Tony Vitello in there. Hey, you hold your brother accountable. That's how you win baseball games. That's how you turn it around early.
The interesting thing to me.
Loud.
Yeah, the interesting thing to me was when Matt Chapman said it, nobody that was in the scrum, nobody looked at him or, even Casey Schmidt. Because I think he just knew,
shock. What do you want them to say?
What can I say to that?
Catch the ball. That was twice.
Right.
Now, Chappie, you got to keep your house in order. Right, though, some of those throws weren't perfect.
Chappie. And how about taking the ball from the shortstop? How about you stay out the way, third baseman?
Look. Hold on.
Yeah, one of those was E5.
Yeah, I understand. No, that's what I'm saying. Look, when you hold yourself accountable, when you hold other people accountable, you got to hold yourself accountable too. All right? And that's just what it is. I told you, Whitey, that my buddy, that third baseman, okay, when I called him out because he was kind of lollygagging and somebody, he got the ground ball, he kind of double clutched it, and I was in left field, and the guy was safe at first. I'm like, yo, come on, man, hurry up, right? That's what I said to him.
You're a good teammate.
Conversely, then he said, you're a bad teammate to me.
Yeah.
Conversely,
what you meant was throw the effing ball.
Right. Come on, man. What are you doing? Making a sandwich? Conversely, I was on second base. He was up, the 3-hitter, right? He was a 3-hitter as well. Rhode Island, first place, first game of the series. We're trying to get it popping. I'm on second, 2 outs. I thought I saw something. I steal, hosed at third. I mean, that's a cardinal sin. You don't do that.
First and third out
He
again.
comes out 2.
Oh.
He comes over to me. Oh my gosh. Now I got to go to left field, and he's going to be on me. He goes, hey, Al, did you get the steal there? I got the green light. But that's how it happens, Whitey. You get called out, and you know what? I never did it again.
This ain't the same.
It is the same.
It's talking about catch the ball.
No, it is
That's
the same.
a different type of play.
Two things. One, Jung-Ho Lee got thrown out of the third.
Yeah, that was bad
yesterday.
too.
Yeah.
And I would have told him, hey,
other,
what do you get the green? You get a steal sign there?
Jay, what do you think the odds are, just out of 100, that I could name anything to do with baseball, and Alan would not use it to bring up something involving his.
There's always going to be
Pinata.
Yeah.
Or Temple.
I got a story for everything. It makes me relatable. It makes
feel like
me
there's
relatable.
maybe at best a 3% chance that we can say something about baseball that will not lead to you going, one time.
Give me an example. Try to find something right now.
Have you ever been told catch the ball?
Yes.
By a teammate?
Oh, that's right. He had
Yes.
On the
Tell me
field?
about that.
Well, it was a coach.
Nah, not the same.
Yeah, not the same. Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there trying to think when I seen it happen. I've seen it playing around. I've seen it in the dugout, but I don't remember seeing it that blatant. Mm-hmm. And this is the other thing, and I get what you're saying, Alan, when you're talking about he didn't think that it was going to be seen. Mm-hmm. Yo, check this out. This baseball game is on television, and there are numerous cameras.
2 different cities.
Too many cameras,
Yeah.
absolutely. For you to get up here and say, and he didn't say that. I know you're saying that. But to say, I didn't think it was going to be seen. At this point in time in 2026, anything that is said on the field probably is going to be seen by somebody.
Mouth, right,
absolutely. Come
Put
on
your glove over your mouth.
But if you put the
that's
glove,
Giants making giant mistakes.
No, but if you put the glove over, it doesn't hit the same. Hey, catch the bleeping ball.
That's why you wait till you get to the dugout.
Yeah. No. He needed to get it out. He said it was, guys, come on. Hyper competitors. We're all alpha dogs here.
You claim darkness is your ally.
Yeah, you sound like Bane. How am I supposed to take Bane serious? You know, it was a heat of the moment. Chap felt like he
merely adopted the dog.
Yeah, you merely adopted the error. I was born with an error. You know, look, I have no problem with it. Matt Chapman, call it out. We need a captain. Captain Chap. Cappy Chappy.
You have been accused here of being the Vitella whisperer.
By who?
I don't want to say.
Not Verlaut again.
No, it wasn't Verlaut.
Okay. Jerry?
No, it wasn't Jerry.
Okay.
You're getting warmer, though. Jim Duquette's going to join us, former Major League Baseball GM. What does he think of what's going on with the Giants? We'll find out next. Sactown Sports.
Stay up to date on Sacramento sports. Join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Switchfoot Live. Friday, April 24th, 7 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. With Fuel. And Lit. And Thomas Ian Nicholas. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. One incredible night with Switchfoot, Fuel, and Lit. Together live.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-881-4300. 800-881-4300. 800-881-4300.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Toyota. Let's go places.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Big win for the Kings last night. The debate continues. Well, should they be winning these games? Of course they should. Why would you want to lose games? We'll get back to that here. Bottom of the hour, it's the Drive Guys. So good to be back with you. Alan, by the way, speaking of basketball, we were trying to get a jump shot in the Papa shot, trying to make one before we had to come back. You didn't.
Well, I had already made. We were already up. That's what I would normally do. 10, 9. And then if I missed, and they were already up 5 points, they win. That's right.
But we have been talking about the Giants and what's going on with Tony Vitello. They had a good series in San Diego, but still little drama yesterday. Nice enough to join us with more on that and everything going on here. We got the A's, of course, coming back home tomorrow. Former MLB GM with the Orioles and the Mets, MLB radio analyst Jim Duquette. Nice enough to join us. How are you today, Jim? Thanks for your time.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. What can you tell us, your opinion here of what went down yesterday? Tough afternoon at first base for Casey Schmidt. Matt Chapman caught on camera in a little meeting on the mound. Catch the effing ball. What do you make of all that, Jim?
Yeah, that was not the finest moment there, was it? I would say. I'll tell you what's fascinating about it. I know, right now they're still waiting for Devers to come back, from the hamstring, and so he's going to be playing first base. It's not going to be smooth sailing over there for Rafi either. I mean, that's not. I mean, he's still getting used to the position, but I was a little surprised that they had put Schmidt at first and Arise at second, even though they told Arise, they wanted to sign him as a second baseman. He has the most experience of those two guys playing first. I would have tried to flip it at least early on. Like, just have a conversation with Luis. Hey, listen, this is temporary. We need you to play first until Rafi's ready to go. So I was a little, I just think that, looking at that, it's a little tough on Schmidt to be sending him over there without that kind of experience and then getting on his case for it. On top of that, I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I know Chapman felt bad about it. You could tell afterwards. It does happen occasionally during the course of the season. I didn't think, Schmidt is, you saw him stretch too early.
Yeah.
That's obvious. But, I mean, Chapman's throw wasn't great either, right? So I think there's equal blame there, and, hopefully they got it straightened out.
Jim, we've seen managers get hired with no prior manager experience, but a lot of those guys played in the major leagues. We're seeing some of these kind of questions and narratives come out about Tony Vitello, who, of course, is making history being the first manager to go straight from college with no type of pro experience at all. Jim, do you think there could be some sour grapes out there throughout the league just regarding Tony Vitello maybe, quote unquote, skipping the line?
It's funny. I assume you guys saw had Mike Lacoste. Got a lot of attention from what he had to say the other day, and there is an element, an old school element of that feeling that kind of prevails out there. The guy didn't put it. He didn't give. He didn't have the experience. He didn't put in the time. There are guys that played, in the major leagues that put in very little time to get to be a major league manager as well. You don't hear quite as much there. So I'm not quite sure that criticism is fair. I mean, Tony put in a lot of time managing, whether it was, the game is basically the same between college and the pros. Now, the one difference obviously is you're dealing with kids versus professionals. And I think Tony's had some issues in dealing with that out of the gate, but I don't get the sense really there's a ton of kind of jealousy. I view it more as professional jealousy around there than anything else. I think the bottom line is Tony knows there's a lot of attention on him in this position, and and the Giants need to win. And Buster Posey, to a large degree, went out on a limb as well. It was a unique and different hire there that so far, hasn't paid off. But I think in any situation when you have a new manager, there's going to be mistakes that are made, just early on. That's been my experience over 30 years in the game. So, you hope that he learns from it. I think he will, and I think things will get better once they start winning a few more games.
That's Jim Duquette. Nice enough to join his former MLB GM. He's now he's a radio analyst, MLB XM Sirius. I want to ask you, Jim, being someone who was in baseball for a long time and then with the Mets and with the Orioles, you're running the show. I know you would never, tell somebody this is how to do it. But what do you think? Buster, I know, is not technically the GM, but he's running the show. What is the hardest thing about going from somebody who's doing different things, scouting, helping, and then all of a sudden it's all on your plate? You're making the final decision. What's the toughest thing about that?
Well, I think, when you're a former player and now you go into the front office, there's a lot more to it than people realize. I've had a couple of chances to talk to Buster over the last couple of years since he, got into the front office. And I think that's the main thing is, every single day you're making a ton of, it's not just one or two decisions. You're making, several decisions per day on personnel, on your major league roster, about office things that are going on in the office, what's going on with amateur players in the draft and player development. I mean, and he trusts the guys that work for him, and Zach Manassian has more experience in that front office, obviously. But so he's relying on him too. But ultimately, he's the guy making the final decision, and I think that it's been a mixed bag so far, I would say. A couple trades last year that didn't go well, some that did. So, and that's not atypical for the first-year front office guy. So, I think overall, the proof will be in year two. Now this is more his team than it was prior, right? You're coming in, taking over for Farhan Zaidi, and most of that roster was what Farhan had put together. So this is more along the lines of what Buster and the current group is thinking. And, I think moving forward, this is probably a more fair assessment going this year in terms of the results that we should be keeping an eye on for him.
Jim, that team that plays in Sacramento, at least for now, the A's, they also had a bit of a slow start, but we know how dangerous that lineup can be. They really got some big boppers in it. How good do you think the A's can be? Maybe not this year, but, setting themselves up with these early contracts. They locked down Loris Butler and others. How good do you think the A's could be if they get that pitching figured out in, I don't know, a couple years, 2-3 years, whatever, something like that?
Yeah. I think they're an interesting team for me because of, like you said, the offense in particular. They're off to a little bit of a slow start, but, we're only 6 games into it, right? And we've seen a lot of strikeouts there, and I think that'll get better too. But I think you hit on where I think the biggest issue is, and I kind of liked what they did at the end of the year last year with Morales and Lopez sticking them in the rotation. They had some success. I know their first starts weren't that great, but they've got good arms. I think Springs has been a good addition. I can't quite figure out Severino sometimes. I think he's been that way, a little inconsistent on occasion, but his first start was pretty darn good. So I think if they can figure that aspect out, it's hard to attract really good top-notch pitching there in Sacramento because the ball just flies out of there. Yeah. So I think they're playing the long game, which I would be doing too in that situation. Hey, but, let's see what they're able to do. Maybe the last year of Sacramento and the first couple in Vegas. I think that I'm pretty bullish on the team. I thought they, outside of that, that was a terrible losing streak they had last year, but I thought overall they rebounded pretty well, and I think they'll be better this year than they were last year, which if that's the case, they'll be at least at 500 or even a little better than that.
Jim Duquette, nice enough to join us, MLB radio analyst, MLB on XM Sirius, and he, of course, was a GM. I wanted to ask you about ABS, and to be honest, when I first heard about it, I wanted to hate it. It seems like it's working. How do you think it's worked so far? Where do you think it goes from here? What's your best guess, Jim?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you with it. When I first saw it, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about this, but it's worked really well. I liked how quickly the decision is made, right? So I think that's number one. In talking to a lot of teams in spring training, with a strategy of it, it's not just about, okay, what count, and the count leverage. So, 1-1 count, if there's a pitch that's borderline, you'll see challenges along the way. Hopefully get a better count, 2-1 versus 1-2. Obviously, later in the game, when there's runners on base, those at bats will be important to challenge. So I think the strategy of it, we're still watching it evolve, but I was really pleasantly surprised, just watching the early parts, like the home team fans were really into it. Like, you guys, I don't know if you guys go to a lot of games. I go to a ton of games, and the fans a lot of times are on their phones or watching, they're whatever they're doing, texting, whatever. When the challenge goes up and on the scoreboard, they were into it, man. They were cheering, if it went well for the home team, and I just didn't expect that, So I've been pleasantly surprised. I think it's exposed some bad umpires. I'll say that too. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think it's been a big success so far and better than I thought.
Yeah, with that being said, Jim, obviously it's going to continue to evolve. But I don't know, for lack of a better term, the humiliation aspect of it, like you mentioned with the umpires, do you think that's something that Manfred and the future commissioner would keep in the ABS system? And I know umpires get, paid a decent bit, but I don't know would they continue to sign up for that. The specific situation right now where we're seeing these stats come out based on, and I get it, we're holding umpires accountable, but the stats that are coming out from these umps, they're split based on age as well. How do you see that evolving? Because right now it feels like an all-out war on umpires based on the last decades of umpires maybe not having that accountability.
It's a touchy subject because I've been on that bus of I don't feel like they're the only employees that don't really have accountability, in my opinion, in terms of like losing their job. If they're not good at it, we haven't seen that. I haven't seen an umpire loses his job because he got a poor evaluation. I don't think. In my career, I can't think of one, so I think, and I think it's a huge problem with, for players, in terms of that respect. So I think just number one is get the calls right. And I think most good umpires will tell you that, like, are they bothered a little bit by the challenge? Yeah, maybe. I think it's also, we're still getting used to it. So, in particular, the one that got the most attention was CB Buckner. He unfortunately has been one of the guys that's been, most pointed to when it comes to no accountability. He's a nice man, but he isn't that good of an umpire at this point in his career. So, I think that's the thing that has been interesting to kind of look at. So, in the end, I think we'll get used to it. I think the umpires will get used to it. I don't know if we're going to get to a point. It's certainly not going to be in the next couple of years where every pitch is called through the ABS system. I don't get that sense that there's an appetite for that along, when I talk to people with the league. But some people who have seen this for a while think it's coming. I don't, and I don't know if I want to see it. So we'll have to wait and see where it ends up going here in the next 3 to 5 years.
That's Jim Duquette. Jim, we all know about the various factors involved in a potential work stoppage. Fingers crossed it won't happen. But with baseball having a moment, and you obviously have a unique perspective on it all, is there a realistic chance that, given that, wow, the game is doing well now, that a really seriously disruptive dispute might be avoided next year?
I mean, I think you hit on exactly the way I feel about it. It seems ridiculous with all the momentum that we have as a sport, and you're seeing it rebound. Most of it's been pitch clock related, but I think the league has done a better job of promoting the players. The players have done a better job of promoting themselves, being getting out there more. I think, and you're starting to see the international interest, right? We saw that in the World Series, both in Canada and Asia. That everything has been trending up. Why would you? And the revenues are still there. We're talking $12-13 billion, and we can't find a middle ground to split the money. That doesn't make any sense to me, and I know the owners like to talk about, salary cap. I don't think the players are going to agree to a salary cap. So if they're going to insist on that, then we may miss some time, but I'm still hopeful that we're going to find a way to not miss any games. I think there'll be a lockout. I think that's a strategy that the owners took last time that they think is a good one, but I'm still optimistic that we won't miss any games, let's say a year from now.
Jim, just one more for you on my end. Speaking of money, as a GM or a former GM, how do you feel about the newest trend in baseball, the no service time contracts? Jim, they're giving guys $70 million that never seen AAA. What are we doing, Jim?
I know. Well, you're talking about the Mariners' Colt Emerson. He got $95 million. He hadn't been into the big leagues. Connor Griffin, who's being called up by the Pirates, they're going to sign a deal. It looks like it's going to be around $130 million, and he hasn't been to the big leagues ever. These are stunning numbers. The interesting part for me is, you better be right. I always tried to look at and unfortunately, I looked more at the downside than I did anything else. Okay, what could happen if things go wrong? And I don't like the looks of signing these guys up to guaranteed contracts when they haven't gotten any big league time. But I think most people who watch and evaluate these guys think they're going to be, either potential star players or really good players in the league. So if that's the case, then, you can try to justify it. But, man, you better be right.
Hey, Jim, last one. You've of course, been in the front office for many years of being around baseball for a long time. What's your thoughts on the some of these cities that are being brought up here for expansion in the MLB? Of course, here in Sacramento, we've kind of tinkled with the idea of, it sounds like we are going to push forward towards expansion and trying to throw our name in the hat. Just some of the cities and your thoughts on expansion for baseball.
Yeah, I think that if you're a city like Sacramento, or I've heard Salt Lake as a city that's been mentioned. Portland always seems to get attention. Charlotte or Nashville on the East Coast. I think the timing is really good to make your pitch for an expansion the expansion team in the sport. And it is going to happen. I mean, the commissioner has talked about this for a while. But it is going to happen over the next, let's see, at least in the announcement, over the next 3 or 4 or even 5 years. I've gone through, let's see, my career. I think it's definitely 2 expansions. When we go through it, there's always the cry, well, I don't know about it, waters down the talent pool, and that in a lot of cases it is the case when it comes to pitching. So I think that's one thing that I always worry about is, what's the product look like on the field when we're thinning it out a little bit more with 2 more teams, and everyone doesn't have enough pitching right now as it stands. So that's the one thing I'm not sure about, but hopefully, by the time we're at that point, we'll have figured out some of the injury issues that we have in the sport. Some of those guys have been going down with Tommy John surgeries, and that impacts the product on the field too.
Jim Duquette. Jim, thank you so much for your insight. We learned a lot. We appreciate it, and we hope to talk to you again soon. Enjoy the games tonight.
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
Yep, talk to you soon.
Great
job. It's funny, as we were talking to him, looking up here, we got something on MLB Network, and they're showing the meeting on the mound yesterday. Repeatedly, and then and as if you can't already see Matt Chapman, they got his face highlighted.
Right.
So there's no way you can miss.
No, you can't.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally?
Get that glove up next time,
That's
Chap.
right.
Captain Chap. Buster Posey was asked about the 0 service time contracts, and he said,
For those who might not know, could you just explain?
Yeah, so basically, for example, the A's have done this a little bit, but they've done it after a year or so. So, for example, you had Jacob Wilson had a good season. He went on to sign a 7-year, $70 million contract with the A's. Some teams want to save even more money than that. So they are signing prospects to 5-7-year contracts before they make it to the big leagues.
Service time is time in the major leagues.
Right. They have not played in the big leagues, so they're getting a discount, and they assume, hey, when they're in year 3, we're going to get a bunch of value back on this. So it's happening. The Pirates, they just did it. The Mariners just did it as well. So Buster Posey was asked, hey, you think you're going to do it with Bryce Eldridge? And he said, nah, I don't think that's going to be the case. We're just going to wait and see. And it honestly reminded me a little bit, guys, of the Niners. How, not exactly the same, but the Niners in certain spots you can take care of situations, and then they don't, and they've ended up in tough conversations. Not exactly the same, but Buster, this could end up costing the Giants a lot of money down the road if Bryce Eldridge balls out. Now, what they could do is if Bryce Eldridge has a good year, because, for example, the A's, they like seeing that 1 year, so they're negotiating with Nick Kurtz right now. Mm-hmm. So they're at least saying, I like what the A's do, because they say, let's see a year. And then we'll sacrifice, a couple million on the contract to make sure that you at least look good in the big league. So that's what the A's are doing, and I would assume Buster might approach it the same way with Bryce Eldridge. But can you imagine that, Jay? To me, what is it? The rookie extension in the NBA, what's that after? 3-4 years?
Four.
Right?
Yeah,
so you have to be decent for 4 years, and then you get your life-changing, and I know it's all life-changing money, but generational money like Keegan Murray did.
Yep.
You're getting generational money. And one of the guys, I think, for the Mariners or the Pirates was a 6th-round pick. Mm-hmm. So he didn't even get cashed out like that to begin with. They're going to give you $70 million. And some of these guys, they haven't even been in AAA yet.
Well, it's the 40-man roster. You have to be on the 40-man roster. And we've heard, like you talked about, Alan, we've heard this situation, and I can't remember who comes to mind, but it happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it was someone who's now in the big leagues, and I can't think of who it is. Forgive me on that. But they're going to send him. It was someone from the Orioles. Mm-hmm. Could have been Gunner or somebody. We're going to send him down because we know he belongs here, but we want the 6 years of control, of him being on the 40-man roster. And so I'm with you. That's one thing baseball has to get figured out. And they're doing a better job of paying these guys early and trying to keep these guys around. But it's definitely been one of those situations where you get drafted and you have 6 years of control over what I can do and what I need to do or what I can negotiate. And then on top of that, fellas, remember, arbitration up until the last 2, 3, 4 years, handful of years, has kind of always went towards the teams.
Right.
Arbitration, most players don't win arbitration. Most of the time, the teams win arbitration. So, I think that's something baseball needs to figure out pretty soon here.
Alan, you mentioned Bryce Eldridge. Can I just ask you, just friend to friend, was it awkward when Kayla asked you, like, hey, can you – I don't know, what did she want to do? She wants to meet him or something?
To meet him?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I believe they're doing it again. I'll be there on, most Sundays for River Cats. I know last season they did autographs. So, Kayla, you hop on in line.
Yeah.
And you can coordinate it when Bryce Eldridge is signing autographs.
Couldn't we get her out there running the bases or something? Maybe he could come out and go, hey.
Normally kids, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you could pull some strings.
Yeah. Just get in line. Get in line. Bring your nephew. Just get in line, Kayla.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, like I said, Kayla's going to have to, you got to earn something like that with me. You don't just, that's a problem. And now you got me going, Whitey. So.
I didn't mean to.
But no. This is the type of stuff we're talking about.
Heaven forbid I should get Alan going.
The same week of Donut Gate, right? The same
Cookie
week
Gate.
of Cookie Gate.
Yeah.
All right? You're going to ask me to meet one of the brightest young stars in Major League Baseball. And I don't do stuff to get stuff back in return, but just haphazardly? Like what is this is the same thing with the service time contracts. You got to earn something.
Yeah.
If you hold a carrot over somebody's head long enough.
I saw some similarities. That's why I brought it up.
I mean, Jay, come on. You in AA and they say, "Yo, we about to cash you out $80 million." How many
whose
guys
fault is that?
But how many guys have it in them to still work as hard? I'm serious. So,
you're right on that.
So, Kayla, if you want to meet Bryce Eldridge, you and your partner need to show and prove, need to come correctly, and dare you ever accuse me of some Cookie Gate garbage again, you will have to go to the sales team because I will not be picking up your phone call.
And what does she want? She just wanted you to orchestrate
a meet and greet with Bryce
and this
Eldridge.
was all on the air, so I can, right? This was all during the crossover.
They just shoot from the hip. That's what's happening here. Like, Whitey, now you got me going now.
Uh-huh.
And I don't, shout out Jim Duquette.
I fell for it because I could see you kind of
shout out Jim.
Shout out Jim. Jim, he comes on, he's buttoned up.
He brought it.
I appreciate Jim.
Yeah.
And now you got me thinking about this nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Jim was not, frankly, the biggest fan of what happened on the mound yesterday in San Diego.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. I was a bit surprised by that. I tell you who was. Tony Vitello. Because that's how he gets down, baby.
You merely adopted the dark.
I was born.
And by the way, Whitey, don't think we're letting you get away with it, okay? Giants put a hurting on the Padres.
What'd we bet?
And then you're not here.
Yeah.
Then you're not here.
Right.
So that's a problem
Exit
for me.
stage left? That's what you're trying to say?
You finally figured that out?
Whitey did the moonwalk on out of here.
Absolutely.
Jay, it took me a while, too. I started
You
the
had to
show.
figure that out.
Now, hold a minute.
Especially that, what was that one game? It was 9-3?
9-3.
Smoke out. I'm not feeling good.
Out,
9-3.
I'm not feeling good at all.
I get a text from Whitey, 6 a.m. Hey, Alan, you got me today, right? What? Okay.
Get signed, get in camp, and we don't drop the ball.
Yeah, the 3-2 game was like, that's unfortunate, but yeah, 9-3 or whatever it was. Like, exactly.
Alan, I got the halls. I got the cough drop.
Exactly.
You know, Alan, I'm going to have to hit you.
I don't know if I'm going to make it in.
Now, well, yeah. Alan, I got this Dayquil. I got the Dayquil. I'm taking it 3 times a day.
I worked with somebody once on the air that took NyQuil during the show.
That's crazy.
Really?
Was it a night show? Not that would be better.
Morning show?
Morning show. And he
Were they
literally
sleepy
was
by
going,
time?
I don't know why I'm
8?
so tired. I was like, what?
Would they be a relative?
No.
Well,
No.
look, I'm not condoning it, but I do feel like Dayquil.
If he took that much, I know you're talking about, if he took that much NyQuil, he'd be in a coma for 6 months.
I do think NyQuil works better than Dayquil. I personally do.
Okay, but
Maybe it's because I'm asleep.
Take during the day.
No, but I'm saying I can understand the thought process. Not if I had an on-air job, though.
Right.
You know, if
he made it through.
If I'm working from home,
yeah,
you know,
he did make it through.
Nothing on my end, guys. That's what I'll be saying.
We
on the
have
media.
more draft notes from Jeremy Wu. A lot of info, but how much of it is new? We'll find out when we come back to Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadours, Dylan Scott, and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with N&S Tractor and Case Construction and Courtyard by Marriott Sacramento Cal Expo. More info at CITVFest.com.
Progressive knows you think the grass is always greener, like maybe you ride a motorcycle. But today, it's raining. So you wish you had an RV, but if you did, you'd have to listen to some guy parked next to it at a campsite plays acoustic guitar. Now, before you start wishing you had a boat, remember, your brother-in-law would invite himself every weekend.
Permission to come aboard, Captain?
But one thing that is greener is the money you could save when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to CarShield.com. That's CarShield.com today.
to infinity and the ballpark. Join the Sacramento Rivercats for Toy Story Night on Saturday, April 11th, and then bring your best furry friend to bark in the park on Sunday, April 12th at Sutter Health Park. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
There are many reasons to choose Gonzalez Law Offices. As a dedicated trial lawyer with an undefeated record from 2016 through 2019, and you'll know that no case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars, as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by national trial lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9188.
Well, I think that's the end of that game. We try to get a bucket in before we get back on the air, and Alan's not a great shooter under that kind of pressure.
No,
At least not
I
today.
am. No, I am.
He's filling it up, and then like, all right, we're coming back. You got to make a shot.
The lights were brighter than I expected.
Clang, clang.
Brighter than I expected. You guys talking about, trying to get me going, talking about the Giants. I got to get back in my element.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Although that is kind of your element when you get a little agitated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you're trying to get me in trouble,
An
Whitey.
element.
I've been on good behavior lately, and you're trying to get me in trouble.
What's the fun of that?
Yeah, that's true.
What's the point of that?
That's also true.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I know there's a little bit of Kings talk still with the winning and the losing.
Yeah.
I'm not repeating myself anymore. Those out there that still don't understand maybe where you're at with this, where I'm at with this, I'm done fighting it.
Yeah.
I'm done fighting.
At this point, the die has been cast.
Yeah.
I think we still have to see if they can end up, they being the Kings, finishing in a better spot than the Jazz.
That's it. But the whole idea...
To me, that also matters.
Yeah. But the whole, the back and forth, there was somebody on earlier, and I think we've seen them before. Tony. We've had Tony before. Tony Goodlow. Just talking about, you guys are talking about, are you really ranting about players playing to win the game if Doug starts benching healthy players because they are scoring points? We've been over this.
Yeah.
We're not talking
I don't
about...
rant about it anymore. I ain't ranting.
But we've never... This is the last time. We've never talked about Doug benching healthy players. Any conversation we've ever had has not even been about Doug. If you cannot understand that, they're called Q-tips. Called Q-tips. Or if you're on YouTube, also Q-tips.
See, now you said you want to get back to a happy place, but you're not back to a happy place.
Because it's like when we have never said that. We've never said Doug should be benching healthy players. All we've ever said is, and again, I don't know if people think, because there are fans out there that think, oh, well, Doug is just doing whatever he wants. A lot of fans think that this is major league, right? This is major league, and the owner wants them to lose, and the manager and coach is just doing what they want.
And the GM sitting there going,
yeah,
I wish they wouldn't do this.
Those darn Kings.
But what can I do?
Those darn Kings keep winning. That's not it. If Doug gets marching orders, he will follow the marching orders. Those aren't the orders, okay? If they wanted to make sure or prioritize losing games and as I should say, draft position, then DeMar DeRozan wouldn't have played. But they're not going to say, hey, DeMar can play Doug. And they could, hey, only play DeMar a certain amount of minutes. They're not telling him that, right? This is not Doug going rogue. Please.
I'm glad you said that, because that is a very offensive notion.
Ridiculous.
That's not the way professional sports works.
No. Go watch Major League if you want to have that experience.
Which one? The first one?
The first one.
2 or 3?
Yeah. Willie Mays Hayes. Do push-ups every time you hit a pop fly.
Do you know why they filmed him in slow motion?
Because he wasn't that fast, right?
Really slow.
Yeah.
Apparently he was really slow.
That's crazy, though. I still can't believe that. Huh? Camera tricks.
Yeah.
How did he get that gig then? Wesley
I don't know.
Snipes.
How did he get in White Man Can't Jump?
Say he played a little hoop, though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Thought he could hoop a bit.
Could he?
And then he was Blade.
Maybe he could.
He's
I
had
thought Woody could. I didn't think Wesley
some
could.
of the coolest roles. And
Yeah, he definitely has.
that means he's a great actor.
He would be in, I talk from time to time about the Sports Movie Hall of Fame, which is you've got to be in multiple big budget sports films.
Oh, he's in it.
He's in.
Yeah.
Because he was in The Fan.
That's right.
He was in The Fan as
Bobby
well.
Rayburn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which someone told me, I don't know if this is true, but someone told me that there's a scene, I think I mentioned this before, there's a scene like an exterior shot from way above Candlestick Park, supposed to be during a baseball game, but if you look closely, you can see that it's actually a football game.
Really?
That's someone told me that once.
Yeah.
I haven't checked it out.
Have you didn't go back into?
I have not. I've never seen that movie.
To check the scene. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Who was
Wasn't it?
Was it not
De
Pacino?
Niro?
It was De Niro, right?
Yeah.
So
we'll ask when Frank comes on. We'll ask him if De Niro's around to talk about that.
He will be. Pretty sure he will be.
So I'm just, I can't. Nobody's telling Doug Doug should be sitting tomorrow. We've never said that. We're never going to say that. This is about what the Kings have been prioritizing. They've been prioritizing celebrating DeMar and celebrating Russell Westbrook and all their various records and their revenge games and their homecomings, and that's fine. That is on the Kings organization. That is not on Doug to go out there. Well, I'm gonna play these guys even though Scott Perry and ownership wants me to tank. That's not how it works. That's this ain't sources. This is just reality. I don't know who is throwing that notion out there.
The Fan, 1996, Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro. So wasn't De Niro also Raging Bull? Wasn't that De Niro? So that would mean he would also be.
De Niro's in there.
Yeah, so he'd be in the Sports Movie Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Was De Niro? What was the? It was a boxing film.
Well, he was.
Not Raging Bull, no. It was a boxing film, and it were like two OG fighters who had been retired for 25 years or whatever, and they fought each other, and then they re-fought each other, like in their 60s. Was he in that?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
But wasn't Pacino the coach in Any Given Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was in any other ones. But anyway, be that as it may. Have you got that out of your system now, Alan?
I'm good now. Unless somebody else has something ridiculous to say.
You know what's going to be hard, but it'd be worth it, is if the Kings end up 4th or 5th, then they get a really high pick. A lot of those people are going to say, I told you guys.
What's the line on I told you? 5th? It's 5th.
Technically it might be 4th or 5th.
I think it is 4th, but people out there, and I'm not going to name names, they'll say, see, what were y'all tripping on the whole time?
Yeah, they will.
Come on.
They will. Because the Kings looked like, they're top 3 easy. And they played their way out of that. And a lot of people say, well, they should have. Because who knows? And then if they did that and they end up with a really high pick, you and I are going to hear it a lot, Alan. I think it'll be worth it, but we're going to hear it a lot.
We won't hear it a lot if the second or third best odds are 1st and 2nd. Because that'll be my retort.
Right.
That'll say,
good
cool.
luck with it. You're right, but I don't think that'll carry the day in that argument.
Okay.
I think it should, but I don't think it will.
Well,
we'll see.
I will win the argument.
Okay. Who to pick for the teams with the top choices? We have from Jeremy Wu, more interviews with some of these anonymous executives in the NBA. A Western Conference general manager telling ESPN when it comes to the number 1 pick, quote, I guess you'd rather fail with AJ and his upside than not. And I know Peterson has upside. Maybe Boozer's upside is a little bit less. I just think AJ, 6'9", he could be like 6'10", 230 by the time he's 25. He could just be a monster. I think you've just got to go down swinging with him if you go down.
You have to. You have to. And that's why it was Anonymous GM Part 2 from our guy, the Hall of Famer Mark Spears. That's also why that Anonymous GM had Caleb Wilson too. It's just the ceiling. It was always going to look, our guy early on when we spoke, ball handling wings. That's what the league is. You know, talking about no Darius Acuff at 1 or 2. Come on now. And Cam Boozer, I wouldn't call him a ball handling wing. I think he can do it, but he doesn't have that wiggle. This is what the league is. This is why Nate Ament, be careful. Be careful.
Yeah, I believe there's one executive in this piece, anonymous executive, who may be comparing Boozer to number 77 on the Lakers. Have you heard that comparison?
Are you talking about Luka?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
So he's Jokic, Luka. He's also,
but it's really
he's
more.
also never been the first pick.
The comp, and maybe it wasn't in this piece. I'll check, but it was somewhere. The comp was more. Luka's not athletic, but look how good it was. More that than Cam is Luka.
It's my Keaton Wagler argument, pretty much. For Keaton, not comparing him to Luka. I saw somebody, there's so many. I think that's a new hot thing, guys. And we might have talked about this. Everybody, the draft is hot, right? Draft content, that's hot content now. Oh, yeah, it's hot content now. And I saw somebody say the ceiling for Keaton Wagler is a low-level Luka. That's what I saw. I like that. I'll take it, you know?
Yeah. There are some interesting things in here. We'll look more closely at them. Is any of it new, though, Alan? I need you to tell me if any of this is anything we didn't already know. And then one NBA executive making a comparison, comparing this draft to another draft. I don't understand what this guy is talking about. Maybe you can make sense of it when we come back and look it over on Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Yo, Palisades crew. Johnny Mosley here, blasting into your Thursday with the Toyota Tahoe Report. The Toyota's locked and loaded, so let's swing open the door, peek at the conditions, and see what Mother Nature is serving up today.
Thanks, Johnny. Thursday at Palisades Tahoe starts with lingering snow showers clearing to broken clouds. Temperatures top out in the low 40s with light winds. Fresh snow on the upper mountain means great spring turns. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Today is National Burrito Day, and to celebrate, Jim Boy's is selling a snack-sized Parmesan-crusted burrito called a Snackerito in 3 delicious flavors for just $4.95. Go by and visit your local Jim Boy's and enjoy today.
Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Who was it, Jay, that named the movie you were talking about?
LRF.
Logical Raptors Fanatic. Grudge Match, 2013 sports comedy film. Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro as aging boxers stepping into the ring for one last bout. Rotten Tomatoes, 31%, Alan. I have not seen it.
31?
31%. IMDb 6.4 out of 10.
It's like a cherry tomato.
So,
I didn't say it was good. I just said he was in it.
You didn't? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one I don't feel like I need to
don't waste
catch up on.
It was all right.
$1 Million Baby, maybe my favorite boxing movie.
Really?
I like that movie.
Wow.
Yeah, I like that movie a lot. Hillary Swank.
Have you not seen it?
Yeah.
Huh?
Alan?
I have not seen it.
I've not seen
it. Okay.
I know it. I know of it, though.
Yeah. You're a big boxing fan, Jay. What's your number one? Or one of?
Figured you were going to ask me that. I was sitting there trying to think about it.
But you don't care for $1 Million Baby?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Okay.
I like Creed.
Yeah, Creed was fantastic. 1 and 2, 3.
Yeah.
Raging Bull was a good
Raging
movie.
Bull
It's
is a
just
good
not
one.
like hey, let's get some popcorn and watch
Whitey,
Raging
did you see
Bull.
Creeds?
No.
You haven't seen any of them?
No, I saw Rocky.
Oh, no, Whitey. Just wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute here.
Should I be at Allen? Should I go, yeah?
You should have. I would have.
The boxing scenes are great.
I almost did that when you said $1 Million Baby. But I felt
You almost faked it?
I felt like a follow-up was coming, so I decided not to.
You paused a minute like, which way do I go here? How am I going to play this? No, I didn't see it.
Nah, I won't. I won't cap.
Really? You haven't seen no Creeds?
No, Creedless.
Is there a reason why? Just haven't got to them?
I think they're from a period where I wasn't seeing a lot of movies. If that makes any sense.
Well, you see what you want to see.
Well, I don't think I saw anything.
I mean, Creed, you saw Age of Ultron, which was probably on TBS. Creed
I
is
had
on
to
a
rent
lot.
it.
Oh, you paid American dollars?
$3.99 rental.
Yeah, boy.
Guys,
Yeah.
I know,
Charge it.
I know this one had other layers to it, but Z4 Harris is talking about The Hurricane with Denzel. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that's a good one.
Good movie.
That's
Yeah.
a great movie.
I think that's the only film he won for, right?
We won for Training Day, I thought.
Is it okay?
Yeah. I thought he won for Training Day.
Denzel best movie is Man on Fire. You ever seen Man on Fire?
Of course I have. Of course I have.
Man, that's saying a lot for it to be his best film. Ooh,
Man on Fire, Inside Man, John Q.
Inside Man.
John Q was a good movie.
Inside Man was good. John Q.
I think it's for me as Malcolm. It's
Oh, yeah. Well,
I mean, he was spectacular in that.
John Q. I will not bury my son.
Is that
my
the one where he's
son
wearing
will
an
bury
Orioles hat?
me.
That's the only thing I remember about that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's wearing an
His
Orioles
son
hat.
was sick.
Yeah.
How is this going to play out, Alan? We've got the upcoming draft, and here is what a Western Conference executive laid out.
Okay.
I'm just going to read it. I don't understand this. Quote, I think this draft is in some ways similar to the Risachet year, but on a higher level. That year it was like, is anyone going to be really good? This year it's like, well, bleep, there's a lot of guys. You have high confidence that at least some of them are going to be really, really good. You're not really sure which ones. You don't want to be drafting at 1 and end up with the 5th best player, end quote. How is this draft like the 2024 draft?
Wasn't the 2024 draft supposed to be terrible?
Yeah. So I don't, yeah.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. This is the year to be an armchair GM because one of y'all are going to look like a genius. A couple of you might look like geniuses. Grind the tape. This is the year to say, I don't know why these guys are getting paid what they're paid because nobody knows anything this year. Somehow, some way. It's just an embarrassment of riches, I guess, or not. If we're talking about 2024.
Here's an East scout quote. I'm not a huge fan of a one position 4. If that's what he is, talking about Boozer, then you have to build your team specifically around that, given his lack of versatility. End quote. Cam Boozer. That's an East scout. I've seen a lot of basketball. He doesn't look the part athletically, so people put limits on him. I don't know why people keep putting a ceiling on him before he's 19. And then you got more comparisons. He is being Boozer, that is, compared to Sabonis, Şengün, any of the others who have been knocked for athleticism. IQ and feel have overcome so much. I think he has answered every question he can, end quote. He's going 3rd, period. Don't you think? Cam Boozer is going 3rd, period.
I don't know. I mean, you can't not.
Maybe 2nd.
I'll put it to you like this. You have to take him, but I don't really want to take him. I don't. You know, when you look at guys, we've been talking about why you were out, but we talked about Terrace Reed Jr. a lot from UConn. His footwork is incredible. You know, you see some of these guys, Keaton Wagler, same athletic question marks, but he's crafty. Like, I don't see, it's not about the, if you don't have athleticism, like we brought up Luka, crafty. I don't see that with Cam. Not yet.
How could you be a very, very accomplished and successful college basketball player without any athleticism? What are we really talking about?
I'm not. There's a level of.
Are we talking about leaping?
There's elite athleticism.
Foot speed?
He's bigger.
Yeah.
He is bigger than a lot of the guys he's playing.
A lot of the things that he does well are athletic.
He's bigger.
Strong.
He's bigger and stronger than these guys.
Uh-huh.
You know, he's not going to be bigger and stronger than everybody in the NBA. You know, everybody keeps talking about when it's time for Duke to get a bucket, he just kind of bulldozes. If you think he can bulldoze in the NBA, go get him. If the Kings have the third pick, they probably have to take him. And I'll sit here and I'll hype him up just like everybody else. But I definitely would say, and Jay, I saw some tape of your boy Stokes from 2027. We better be back in that tank. Go get Stokes, baby.
That doesn't do you any good with the new rules,
We don't know that. We don't know that yet.
Okay.
You don't know that.
All right.
Give me Boozer, Stokes, because I'm still looking for the guy.
We don't know it, but it's certainly a possibility.
There has been no conversation about the no double dip. We have not heard about the double down yet.
No, but the whole point of whatever they're going to do this offseason is to remove the incentive to tank. That's what they're going to try to do.
They're doing a lot of barking.
At the very least, they're going to stretch the odds so that even if you do tank, good luck. Your odds of successfully tanking are lower than ever.
You know, a buddy once told me that squirrels are just rats with better PR. You know what I mean? Tanking, losing.
That's not true, but okay.
Tanking, losing, whatever.
That doesn't make any sense, Alan.
They're not going to tank, but they're not going to win games. Either way, Whitey, whatever we're talking about, Jay and I, we talked about the Mavs. They could get a top 10 pick this upcoming season. Maybe top 5.
Mm-hmm.
The Kings are not winning games next season.
Okay, but whether you're a squirrel or a rat or you're tanking or you're just losing, you don't have as much to gain from it next year. That's the bottom line.
We don't know that.
Well, there's
we
a very
don't know
good
what
chance
the
of that.
rules are.
We know that they're making it clear we are going to curb tanking. We have some idea what they might do. All I'm saying is there's a very good chance that, we have to tank again next year. It might not benefit you to do so.
We don't know that yet.
Okay.
Until they show up
we
with
do know that it might not benefit you.
Till they show up with your wheel, okay? Look, Whitey, what is the point of saying...
They're not ready for the wheel.
No, only you are ready for the wheel.
Yes.
Whitey, what is the point of saying that they shouldn't... Whether we go back and forth about the tanking rules or not, I'm just looking at the Western Conference. And this team is not going to win a lot of games. The hybrid rebuild, that doesn't mean I think it's going to work. I think they're going to do it, and I can't wait to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean it's going to work. So either way, I don't know if it's going to help them to be bad next season, but they're more than likely going to be bad next season.
I feel like we're not really disagreeing. We're kind of circling each other. With,
yeah. You're just saying, I'm saying, give me Stokes. I'm saying, jokes for Stokes. That's what I need.
But we can't even have those stupid sayings anymore.
We
Suck
can.
for luck.
We can't for now until we know.
But that doesn't mean you're going to get luck anymore.
We can for now until we know for sure.
If it pleases you, you should do so.
Look, Adam Silver, we don't know if he's about that life. We really don't.
He sure wants us to think he is.
I mean,
and so do the companies that run all the gambling apps, Alan.
Look, a lot of these teams are not going to be.
You're the last person.
Whitey, think about it though.
That to
no, but think about it like this though. You just look at the Western Conference. Who's in the tank? They're all better significantly than the Kings. Who's going to be in the tank next season?
Nobody, because there's not going to be a tank.
No, but they're not going to be in the tank because they all have the Jazz made their move, right? The bad teams all made their move. It's going to be the Kings and the Grizzlies. That's it. That's it. So I don't know if it's going to help them or not. I'm just telling you, they're not going to be good.
What do you think of this? This is from a West executive talking about guards. Quote, I think there's never been a worse time to build around bad defensive guards. We see this time and time again. The flashiest offensive impact in the draft doesn't necessarily end up winning the most. Again, this is a West executive. It ends up being, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Alex Caruso, go down the list. And we kind of have proof of concept of this right now in the trade market. Trae Young was traded for basically nothing. People fall in love with guards, and I know of a bunch of teams who are falling in love with Acuff right now, end quote.
This isn't about Trae Young. This isn't about Trae Young. This is about not paying Trae Young type of money to guys like that.
Well, it's about whether a guy, specifically not a guy, but whether Darius Acuff can be a guy who elevates your whole program.
Right, and I heard them early on going back and forth, the morning show and the midday show, talking about Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Maxey versus Trae Young. I know we already talked about, I don't see Darius Acuff in Tyrese Maxey. I wish I did. But all
I'm
these
with you
guys,
on that. I heard that too.
All these guys, it's just a matter of, are you looking at them? Because Dave was like, well, Tyrese Maxey hasn't won anything yet. We know what this league is these days, right? I'm not looking at Tyrese Maxey as the only guy. That's not how the league works right now. You have to build. There might not be more than one guy in this league. You're in this draft. There's GMs that don't think there is one. We had on our boy early on. He said he still would take Coop.
Fill in the blank for me here. You're really good at this. A West executive. Blank is going to have to get stronger, but I'll take my chances on a guy his size who can basically run the show, and he plays with such tremendous pace and feel.
Wagler?
Correct!
See, man, armchair GM.
You should
I'm trying to. See, this is getting me upset now.
I'm sorry. I feel responsible. 43% of the things I say today get you upset, and I only mean to upset you with about 37%.
I think it's more like 40. I think it's a solid 40. Like, what are we talking about? Oh, the Kings. Now, again, going back to the report of this report, that report, are we talking about taking Acuff at 3, at 2, at 1? If not, it is what it is. I don't want them to take Acuff over Caleb Wilson at 4, but if they do, it is what it is. Caleb can't shoot, and this team is awful at shooting. All right, cool. Now go get Stokes. Jokes for Stokes. Come on.
I give that a 2.
It's a 1.5. Well, help me out here.
I was being nice.
Help me out here with something that rhymes better.
I'll tell you what we'll do instead. We'll come back with a look at whether the Kings' current strategy reflects Allen's beloved hybrid rebuild maybe in the offing. And say hello to this year's Keon Ellis. We have that coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It's next on Sactown Sports. Buckle up.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Business moves fast, and so do we. At Bank of Marin, we team up with businesses in the greater Sacramento area to help you drive the lane and score big. With dedicated relationship bankers and local decision-making, we help you move quickly, whether you're upgrading equipment, buying your next building, streamlining cash flow, or fueling growth. From expansion to investment, we're ready to help you win. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Now you've got a place for all things dance.
The all-new Energy 100.5 HD2.
Where dance music lives. Dance vibes anytime and any place when you get the free Now 100.5 app.
Or listen at 100.5 HD2.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Today is National Burrito Day, and to celebrate, Jim Boys is selling a snack-sized Parmesan-crusted burrito called a Snackerito in 3 delicious flavors for just $4.95. Go by and visit your local Jim Boys and enjoy today.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Thanks for being with us. By the way, Frank Caliendo is going to be with us at 5 o'clock. So we're zeroing in on Frank Caliendo. Haven't talked with Frank on the radio in a long time. He's going to be at the Punchline next Tuesday. So I know we had talked about going out there, and Alan had kind of given it the, yeah, that'd be great if I could try to swing by.
Look, if it's really going down, I got to put in my time off, with the missus.
Well, we talked about it last week. Or
that's
maybe
what I'm saying.
Monday. So did you?
I have not mentioned
submit
it yet.
anything?
No, because
did you
it was.
do any paper?
I don't submit anything.
Can you do that online now?
I could. I don't think she'd like it. I think that's an in-person one. You talking about during the week? Yeah, I'm gonna have to. That's gonna be in person. That's gonna cost me. That's gonna cost.
You need me to write you a note, man.
That's gonna cost me, fellas.
I can write you a note, bro.
But you worth it.
Go to Richie, our new boss. Richie.
Yeah. I gotta
Could
put
you
it in.
write me a note?
Yeah.
She might be like, "Who is this?"
I gotta put it in. What's our system? I gotta put it in the system.
Be creative.
It's pending. It's
the work day or whatever.
Yeah, work day is pending. I'm like, hey babe, did you see? It's just pending there. It's been a
When you put, hey, I will say this: when I put it in, I expect it to be off.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Right.
Listen, check this out. We ain't negotiating.
Yeah.
So that's how you gotta do it, Alan.
I'm gonna say, hey.
Yeah, it's not a request. It's I'm informing you.
Right. It's more of a barter system. Like, hey, if I get this, now you have something. Now you have a chip.
Oh, so you have to see.
Use.
Well, if I do this, what am I got to give up? I got to give up, and then weigh the.
That's right. Well, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a look into how.
After Frank comes on, you'll be like, oh, I got to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Especially if you're gonna do some of your impressions for him.
Well,
which is the rumor. But we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see where that goes.
We'll see.
Where's this Kings thing going? With the Kings winning games now that some of us were hoping they would lose. Oh, well, you won the game. You can't go back and replay it. Is this an indication that some call it a remodel rather than a rebuild? You call it the hybrid rebuild. Do we think that that's where this is headed?
Yesterday had me convinced that this is where this thing is going. And we talked about owner Vivek Ranadive. What was it, a couple weeks ago? Maybe just last week. He said, hey, the reality is, and I'm paraphrasing, the reality is we weren't healthy all season. Now, that's true. Now, whether you think that this is a situation like the Pacers not being healthy after coming off of finals or not being healthy and you missed the playoffs last season getting blasted in the play-in, I don't know where their reality lies, Whitey, but after watching last night, specifically because the Pacers lost and they had some opportunities there, I think that there is a real possibility. And I've been on this hybrid rebuild thing, not because I necessarily want to do it. I've gone back and forth with it. I just think it's going to happen based on some of these contracts. Brendan Nunez was on, and everybody says the same thing. Hey, they're going to shop people, right? They're going to shop people. That doesn't mean anybody's going to be buying, right? The price tags might look a little bit different this summer than last summer, but there is a real possibility, even if they move off of, let's say, DeRozan, if you are going to hybrid rebuild, can you even move off of DeRozan? He's your go-to scorer. So I don't even know who is the main guy. We've brought up Malik Monk before, and just because, of that contract, and they've had him on the trade market. But I think there is a real possibility that the Kings say, hey, we added another wing. Maybe we're able to hold on to Precious, so we'd have DeAndre Hunter, Precious Achiuwa, Keegan Murray coming back on a brand new contract. We go out. We're going to get at worst a top 10 pick. Let's turn this thing around and see what we can do.
I don't know what they're going to do, and maybe that is where it's headed, and I would understand that. I don't think I'd agree with it, but I'd understand it. But here's my point. I don't think they can make that decision until they know where they're picking. If you ended up with a pick, what's the lowest you could have right now? Could you pick 9th?
Man.
Let me just see here. I mean, you could pick 8th. Let's say you end up with the 8th pick. If you were going to say, we have the 8th pick, whoever that might be, we're going for it next year. No, I think if you really want to pursue the path that you had told us you wanted to pursue about being, sustained competitiveness, 8th pick with this team ain't going to do it. You got to get back into it. Now, I know, again, as we were just discussing, we also don't know what the landscape's going to be as far as tanking next year and what that's going to net you. So you have to factor that in. But if you end up with a really high pick and you were going to say, all right, we're back in, to me, okay, maybe. But if you end up with the 8th pick, and again, that's very unlikely, and then all right, we did what we wanted to do with the youth movement. Here we go. To me, it's like, nah, you came up short. You didn't do what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, and but I think it's all connected, right? Because of how you behaved towards the end of this season, you're telling us that you're okay with getting a lower pick and moving on from there. Because if you really wanted to be, it's funny. It's almost like if they were committed to the tank, and we don't know what the lottery gods are going to give the Kings, but if they were more committed to the tank this season, technically it would have given them, on paper, a better chance at going after it next season because you'd have a better chance of getting a top pick. Because they wanted to mess around a little bit and let the vets do their thing. Because of that, now you might end up with a lesser pick. Now you might still try to go for it. So again, this whole thing just hasn't made a ton of sense. But I was having some conversations yesterday, and I was reminded of what Vivek said. And there is a world, we know that they don't like those seats empty. So they could say, we're adding a top 10 pick to this. I saw Matt George on the MGP, the Matt George podcast, say, hey, if they want to bring Precious Achiuwa back, they're going to have to move off of some of these bigger salaries. They're already 5th in in their cap situation. They're spending a ton of money, 8th in payroll, I think. So the Kings have to decide what exactly it is they want to do because they can't do everything. Now, that doesn't mean they have to move on from, like you said, the more wings, the better. That's what Brendan Nunez said as well yesterday. You can keep DeAndre and keep Precious Achiuwa, but I don't know that you can keep Precious Achiuwa the way he's been playing because you keep playing him, by the way, and keep letting him ball out, but not find a way to move on from Malik Monk or one of these larger contracts. So their priorities are just a bit confusing, but I don't know, just based on the contracts, Whitey, if we're going to see some big exodus and see a super young team next season. And that was kind of never the plan because of that 2027 date where a lot of those contracts, Levine will be done and things like that. So it kind of is in line with what the initial plan was.
I do think one of the reasons it seems confusing is because Scott Perry is still keeping multiple paths open on a number of these things. Yeah. It's like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to do that or that? And I think the answer is yeah. Depends what happens between now and then, but we might go either way. We don't have to decide right now, so we're waiting until we do.
Yeah.
Whereas most of us just like, tank all the games. It should be clear what you're doing. Well, I think maybe it's prudent and opportunistic to keep a number of options open. We'll see where it ends up. By the way, and I know I always mention this, but it's very interesting to me. Indiana, they've won, a couple in a row now? So they're third, and their chances of getting the 5th pick, 14.8, the 6th pick, 26, the 7th pick, 7%. If they get the 5th, 6th, or 7th pick, they lose the pick.
Yeah.
It's gone. As part of the Matherin trade. And by the way, Matherin's really good, but he's a restricted free agent. So that could end up being a disastrous deal for them.
Yeah. And again, they're not the only ones. I mean, maybe, I don't know, Whitey, a lot of these athletes will be quick to tell you, hey, you're not in that locker room. You don't know how it is. And it's a lot different to look on the outside. And I feel them on that. Maybe that's part of it too. Maybe, whether you're Indiana or Sacramento, they feel differently about, and again, these aren't locker room decisions. Nobody's saying go out there and clank some threes, but maybe there is just even with Scott Perry and, everybody involved, hey, this is what we're focusing on. We've already hit our level. We're going to play it straight the rest of the way out. Now, what we've gone back and forth on this whole time is the definition of playing it straight. Playing it straight doesn't have to mean DeMar DeRozan takeover and at this point a Precious Achiuwa takeover. But that's what they want to do. They're going to stack wins if they can. And you know what? I'm good with it. I'm at peace with it. And a lot of people.
Are you really? You say you are, but are you really?
I have no choice. If you're in a position like we are in, hemming and hawing about it. And look, it's a weird situation because I'm not necessarily the type of person. I value, and Jay will smile at this, I value the Kings being good. Right? I value the Kings being good more so than me being right. I think there are some Kings fans out there, and it's not just Kings fans. I think it's fans in general, right? See, I told you this would happen, and they want to be right, right? We've been saying,
we all do.
Right, a lot of people, see, the Kings were dumb, and now they got the 8th pick. That's not me. If I disagree with what the Kings are doing, I would still rather be wrong, get the 1st pick, and have people say, you idiot, we told you it was fine. I'd rather that than the Kings get the 8th pick, and everyone says, man, Alan, our guy Scott, who keeps saying win, win, win,
because
right?
you know what side of the bread your butter's on.
I got the kids and, the daycare, and I would rather be wrong and say, look, I'm glad they won. See, it never mattered, than say, Allen was right. They shouldn't have won these games. I'd be saying, no, I didn't want to be right.
Do you think it's possible that they look at the odds and say, look, whether we're 1st or 4th, the odds of getting the 1st pick, 2nd pick, 3rd pick, 4th pick, they're about the same. They're a little better if you're 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, but they're about the same.
Yeah.
So why should we bend over backwards to embarrass ourselves just to improve our odds slightly? Could that possibly be their thinking?
I don't even know if they're having these conversations. I don't know if they're having conversations specifically about winning, losing games.
But they must have, because remember, you go back to Fizz, when he was on whatever podcast he was on. I apologize, I forget which one it was. And he went through this years ago as Scott Perry's coach with the Knicks. And he made it clear that, we all knew what the plan was, and I sacrificed my record for, lottery odds. So it's the same. Scott Perry, if he talked about it with Fizz, he must be talking about it with Doug, right? Don't you think?
If that's the plan, I guess we don't know what the plan is. But yes, you would think if again, they go in, and I don't know what the cadence is. I'd love to know. This is the type of Netflix show that I would love. But hey, Toronto, we are unleashing DeMar DeRozan. This is his thing, right? And I don't know. You know what's so funny about the whole nobody knows at this age, but DeMar has said nothing about retiring. So I get it. You never know. But why, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but why did they have to make it the DeMar show? He's never talked about retiring. And I'm not saying to sit him, but is it just every time he goes to Toronto?
I think part of it is it's kind of a team building thing. When you have a player that's that beloved by his teammates, and all signs indicate he truly is.
Yeah.
And then you have a veteran, and look, everyone knows we're losing. This is his night. There's there is something to be gained.
I get it.
Obviously, in terms of culture, but we don't even know how many of the guys on the team now will be on the team next year. So
Right.
it's a little iffy. But why would you do it? I guess that's why.
Yeah. Again, it's a homecoming. There was also an LA homecoming, and DeMar is on contract next season.
This last night, as you know, we talked about it. Double homecoming, double revenge game.
Double.
Yeah.
Double trouble.
Did you hear the caller? I believe his name was Will. It wasn't Mercedes man Will, but it was Will. And he called Matt Kayla, and he said, I'm paraphrasing, said, look, you play the older guys. If you think that's going to bring in more free agents, it's not going to work. And then you're ruining your lottery chances. And I, as a Kings fan, resent that. It was a really interesting call.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying, look, why are you playing the older guys? Now, there's a million people that disagree with that, but I just thought that was an interesting point of view.
Yeah. It just is always, and maybe they had made the decision before they found out that the Raptors were going to be that depleted, right? DeMar was always going to play in Toronto, so I shouldn't even harp on that. But again, when you have a laundry list of injuries and soreness against the Nets and then come back, and it was just the DeMar show, don't get me wrong, and the Raptors were terrible. So it is what it is, but it just is flip a coin, really. It feels like the Kings are flipping a coin game by game. Hey, are we going to try to win this game, or is everybody going to sit? That's actually how it feels, and I'm not being disrespectful. I know that's not what's happening, but that's how it feels sometimes.
It did seem like DeMar did not play against the Nets because they were saving him for the Raptors game.
Mm-hmm.
And he sat out with whatever he had. All those guys right now have things that would cost most of us, days off from work.
Yeah.
So I know they're legitimate injuries, but they can play through some of that stuff. Now, what is going on with the new Keon Ellis? Do the Kings have a new Keon Ellis?
Well, they very well may have just that, Whitey. Okay. And let me just say this. We have gone back and forth about how things ended with Keon, and we've moved on. Good luck to him in Cleveland. But as one Keon leaves, another Keon may be arriving.
Really?
As we know, Keon was about to get paid. And the Kings, they decided in the summer, really, that they were going to take their chances, okay? Now, I'm going to name off a couple guys here and give you just the tail of the tape, all right? So this first player is 6'4". This other player is 6'4".
Okay.
This player,
I have no preference then yet,
is 27 years old.
Okay.
This other player is 26 years old.
Okay.
This player is averaging 10.1 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. The other player, 6.5 points, 1.8 rebounds, 0.9 assists. This player, shooting
0.9 assists?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
This player, 42.9.
This is player A?
Player A, 42.9% from the field. The other player, 43.8% from the field. Now, 3-point conversation, obviously different. This player, 33.3% this season.
That's player A?
Player A. Player B, 36.4%. So player B has player A there. Free throws, player A, 82.9% from the free throw line. Player B, 72.3% from the free throw line. And just to give you an idea for the minutes-wise, player A, 27 games, 25.6 minutes per game. It's shot up lately. Player B, 67 games played this season at 20.2 minutes per game. Player B, ladies and gentlemen, was Keon Ellis. Player A was the Broad Street Bully, Daquan Plowden. Now, obviously,
you're saying Daquan is Keon.
I'm saying there are a lot of similarities. A lot of similarities. Now, Keon has a better three-point percentage. We said 36%. Keon this season, though, is taking 3.4 3-pointers a game, all right? Daquan Plowden is taking 5.6. So Keon has a better percentage by 3 percentage points, but he's also taking less threes than Daquan. Daquan letting it fly. And I understand that the first thing everybody's going to say is that Keon defensively blows Daquan out of the water. Now, some birdies have chirped here. And when it comes to Keon defensively, it really does depend on who you ask. Some will say, hey, depends on how you look at him as a individual defender versus a team defender, things like that. I personally think where Keon is better than Daquan defensively, Daquan is better than Keon offensively.
He's much more forceful.
Yes.
He's much more impactful.
Yes, he is way more impactful. He's not a creator, but he will go get his shot.
Yeah.
He will get to the free throw line. He will do different things. He will shoot off the dribble. Keon was more of a catch and shoot guy.
He will seek out and make big shots.
So I'm not saying that Daquan is better than Keon per se, but I'm saying they're fairly close in just the idea of what their roles will be on teams moving forward. Keon's going to be more impactful on the defensive end, more 3 and it's more D and 3 versus more 3 and D. And obviously Daquan isn't where Keon is defensively, but I don't know if that gap is.
I don't know if we could call him a 3 and D, Daquan. And that's okay.
Well, he can keep improving. He's 27.
Yeah.
About to be 28.
I mean, to me, he's more of a guy who would be ideally maybe a 6-man coming off the bench.
Sure.
Because he can get hot. And from the moment I saw him in Summer League, just love the way he shoots.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of similarities there, but they're really two different types of players.
They probably are.
I think we know pretty much what Keon is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say he can't still improve here or there, but Daquan Plowden, I think we're still finding out. Okay, what is he exactly?
Yeah. And I was listening to Katie, and when Katie Christensen, and when she's talked about Daquan, they respect him defensively. You know what I'm saying? So he might not come in and be a stopper for you, but we've seen Keon, and I'm not doing the thing where now that he's gone, we're going to bag on him, but we've seen Keon get beat. You know what I mean? Keon's not Derek White.
Well, the thing that happened to Keon, he's a good team defender, a really good one, but, things get blown out of proportion around here. Some of that's the fans, and some of it is what they're fed by the media.
Mm-hmm.
So you had people comparing him to like Caruso and he can guard, 1 through 5.
Lou Dort.
Shut down defenders. No.
Yeah.
That's not a knock on him. It's just not true.
He's very handsy. He's great with his hands. He's going to poke the ball. He's going to get steals. But if it's body to body, he can get bodied.
Yeah, I always mention this when we talk about this. When they played in Boston last year, and he was covering Jaylen Brown, and he just couldn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, no shame in that, but he just couldn't.
Now, here's the thing. Keon's about to get cashed out, okay, because he's playing really well for the Cavs. But this is another thing that we've gone back and forth with listeners about, just as far as, hey, well, y'all wanted to keep Keon, and he's an 8th man, whatever it is. If you look at who Keon's going to be in this league, a 3-and-D guy, 7th, 8th man off the bench for a contender. Couldn't you easily say the same thing about Daquan Plowden after this season? Keon has a little bit more tape out there, but we talked to Kevin Dana. Daquan's been around the block. He was on the Warriors. He almost made that squad. He has been around. So I see no reason why we may not be having these same conversations, or will be probably having similar conversations at the end of this season. And I think the question is, Whitey, could Daquan be priced out the same way that Precious might be priced out based on who the Kings already have on the books? But if you look at some of the success stories from the G League, and we had Will Scott on, head coach of the Stockton Kings, we had him on a couple days ago. If you look at some of those success stories, I don't know if it's the same thing because Daquan was more of a finished product when he got over to Stockton, but I think this is a very similar situation where you can turn somebody around and get very good value. Not the same type of player, but 3-point shooter on a team that needs it like the desert needs water. Yeah. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, man, oh man, the Stockton Kings, they be flipping and turning things around pretty quickly here.
I still think we know pretty much what Keon is, and he's a player that can help a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Who did we just have on last week? Your buddy Swartz.
Greg Swartz.
Greg Swartz came on and said, I expected a lot, and he's exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
And Daquan Plowden, we still don't know. I mean, maybe he might be something. He's putting up some numbers on a team that's not very good.
Yeah.
But he has he's made some big shots down the stretches of competitive games.
But here's the other thing.
I'm not ready to say he's better than Keon yet. But
No. And I'm not saying that either, but I know the Kings weren't that bad, but Keon did all of his work on an okay team, right? He never played on a good Kings team. They were in the mix, I guess, but it's not as if, we're saying Daquan's balling out on a bad team and the Kings were better than they are this year, but Keon never did it on a contender.
No, he did some of it on a playing team. I mean, they had a better record.
They were better.
Yeah. By the way, here's another part of the equation with DeMar. Why are they playing DeMar so much? He now is 17th all-time in scoring at 26,688, and next up is Oscar Robertson at 26,710. So that's another thing they're aiming for.
What is that now?
That's for Oscar Robertson, 16th all-time in scoring with 26,710 points, and right now DeMar he moved ahead of Dominique. DeMar is 17th, 26,688.
Jay, where's that TI 84?
So is that 22? Is that 22 points?
Oh, yeah.
No, 32 points?
Cook it again.
32 points away?
Cook it again. Get the digital banner ready when they get back to Golden One.
That would be kind of significant, Alan, if DeMar DeRozan passed Oscar Robertson, one of the great Kings of all time, although he never actually played for the Kings.
I've never seen such a bad team with so many storylines. It's incredible. It's impressive.
Some of it's just flat out good marketing.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Get in there. They got the cards in there too. Maybe you can rip a DeMar card, a DeMar rookie card in there. They got it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can rip one, Whitey.
So you're not a big fan of DeMar's climb up the...
No, don't do that, because now you're going to get me in trouble.
No, okay.
I'm not. I'm just saying they are in a position other bad teams aren't in. And they have to navigate, specifically Doug Christie, has to navigate things that other teams don't have to navigate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Obi Toppin ain't on any of these lists.
I don't know if this makes sense, but just watching it, I don't think it may not make sense, but I feel like the Kings are rewarding DeMar for sticking with him.
That's what it feels like.
Through some really bad times that he's had to go through since he's been here.
I mean, he's getting paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not playing for free.
Mm-hmm. We'll have more on that when we come back. Also, the Giants chairman was just asked if his team helped drive the A's out of Oakland. How did he respond? Well, we'll tell you when we come back to Sactown Sports.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the three. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey there, Mark and Tom, the travel and entertainment guys, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations, here with our weekly travel tip. And with it, here's Mark Hoffman.
Most travelers carry very little cash anymore, which is a reason you need to keep your credit card safe when you travel. Fraudsters are getting more creative. Here's an example. You give a restaurant a card and it comes back to your table with a $200 overcharge. You question it, and the server removes it from the bill. But minutes later after you depart, now knowing your card will tolerate that extra charge, the merchant puts it back on your bill. So keeping track of your card balances is important. If you use ATMs on the road, beware of skimmers. Those are replicas of the part of the ATM you insert your card into. Scammers put them on top of the real ATM equipment, and it allows them to capture all of your important information and hack your account once you're gone. When traveling, only use bank ATMs or one inside a major chain grocery store or similar.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Your Toyota's been through a lot with you. Traffic, rain, potholes, you name it. But it keeps showing up mile after mile. So maybe it's time to give a little back. For a limited time at your local Toyota dealer, get 3 new tires and get the 4th for $1. Because a ride that's always there for you deserves to be taken care of. 3 tires, get the 4th for $1? Go on. Treat your Toyota. Deal ends April 30th. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Restrictions apply. Toyota and Scion vehicles only. See participating Toyota dealers for details.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Frank Caliendo coming up top of the hour. You want to know what I was thinking for Frank? And I threw it out and we'll see maybe.
Okay.
Coach's Corner. Okay. Like
Oh,
Coach's
yeah,
Corner
yeah.
segment with Madden
Uh-huh.
and Gruden and Pacino, who was the coach in any given Sunday.
Okay.
And the topic is, if you were coaching the Avengers football team, how would you?
Oh.
So I threw.
Okay.
We'll see if
That's a lot.
I threw it out. He may say yeah, or I typically he goes, yeah, whatever.
Okay, so
But-
you asked him.
Yes.
Okay. You know what well, I'll save this question. Well, I don't know if I should say it to him or not, but how often does it happen if somebody just, like you said, you sent him a text, somebody shoots from the hip and says, "Hey, Frank, you gotta," and he doesn't have it. Does he go for it? Or does he say,
Probably not.
I don't got that in the bag, know? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the decorum for something like this. I wouldn't.
Well, you do
I'm
voices.
wondering.
You know how it is. If
Well, yeah,
somebody
you got the
says-
set list.
Yeah, someone says, "Hey, do your Matt George." You'd be like, "I don't have that, right?"
Maybe I do.
Oh,
You just have it. It's funny because I was going to ask, is there someone that we haven't really heard him do that he has? Is he saving it? Has he been working on it? Is there a reason why he hasn't debuted it? Or maybe he doesn't use it enough.
Yeah,
like
right.
once or twice. Or
Uh-huh.
I just saw him on a podcast, and forgive me for not knowing what podcast it was, but I found it fascinating. He was talking about how he moves his jawline versus his tongue versus the way he holds his mouth versus the
different sounds?
position of the neck. Yeah, like how he creates these different sounds. But it was fascinating because he flip on a dime. It'd be Madden to Pacino to Jay-Z to within seconds.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you want to do this, you go. If you want to do, I was like, that's crazy. Like he is really putting in the work on that.
Mm-hmm. Styles is getting to that level.
Yeah, he is.
He's almost there.
You got a Matt George?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're working on it and don't want to debut it yet.
Yeah,
there you go.
I know. Well, I know Chris Watkins has an Allen. Actually, a lot of people have Allens, and I think you have an Allen, Whitey.
I don't think so. I'm thinking I probably at one time or another have done
maybe.
like with Chris or something.
Oh, I'm
but-
sure you did.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did.
But I don't have it's not like, oh, he's got me. I don't want to do
Yeah.
my Allen.
Yeah. Well, I'm always listening. I got sources.
Mm-hmm.
I know that
You're listening or sources are listening?
both.
Okay.
Both. I can't wait. Now I'm excited. Now I'm ready for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I don't mean to put him on the spot. He may say, no, I don't want to do that, which is fine.
Do you think he would say no?
I don't think he would, but he might. If he does, he'd have a really good reason to do that.
Yeah.
So usually I think that's when he comes on, it's like, yeah, throw some stuff at me.
Right.
Give me something I can have fun with. So
Does he have a Jay-Z? Jay? You said Jay-Z.
I think seen him do it. I could be wrong. I'm going to try to find that pot. It was just recently, too.
Right.
So.
But, that's what I was saying. That's my list. He's on my list of a lot of, Ari Spears, Jay Farrell. They all got Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah, everybody got Jay-Z.
Everybody got a Jay-Z.
Yeah, pretty close.
That's on that list of we all got them.
Mm-hmm. Did an interview with Jay Farrell once, and it was just like, man, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Man, it was amazing.
He flips on the dime.
I think he's got a Denzel, too.
Yeah, he definitely has a Denzel. A lot of people have Denzel.
I think that's on the list, dang near.
All right, that's enough tomfoolery, Alan, because we need to find out what's going on with your favorite baseball team, the Giants, and whether they are responsible, if they are complicit in the ruination of the Oakland A's.
Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, and I think you're the one that pointed this out to me, that Greg Johnson, chairman of the Giants, just did an interview with The Athletic. Here's the question to him from Andrew Baggerly. This might be a tough question, but to the extent that the Giants held firm in their territorial rights when the A's wanted to explore moving to the South Bay, are the Giants on some level among the responsible parties for the A's moving out of the Bay Area? Before Greg Johnson's answer, Jay, how would you answer that question?
Well, first of all, I'd say this is super repetitive, and we don't even need to revisit this. We know what happened.
Yes,
but
how would you answer it, Jay?
I mean, you know what it is, man. It's all on the Giants. Blood is on their hands.
Uh-huh.
Blood
green
is
and gold
on.
blood.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're trying to sit in the same vehicle as the A's last year with that little weak banner that you threw up.
Yep.
Just let you know, you are guilty as charged.
I'm with Jay on that. I spoke out about that. What is it, Jay, the 510 day?
Yeah, 510-415.
It was ridiculous.
Here's what the chairman said. At the end of the day, it's a direct quote. At the end of right now, okay, spinning, right? When someone says, at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, that's
you're spinning.
That's one of my go-tos.
We have to protect this franchise. That's our responsibility. Look, I'm a guy from the Mid-Peninsula, diehard Giants fan my whole life, and San Jose is just as close for me to drive to. We have a huge fan base there. The overlap would be large, and it would have been detrimental to the strength of this organization. And if you go back, remember when Oracle Park was built, the ownership group personally guaranteed debt on it to get it built. And a part of that was, you're not going to put a team next to us after we're taking all the risk. So, I think you've got to go back and look at where things were historically. Is this a two-team market? It's very hard to have it in any major city and not have one strong team and one weak team. You show me where you have enough support for two teams, but one team tends to be the much stronger team. So I think there's a lot better viable options, and I think Vegas for the A's will be a good place with a tremendous stadium, and that's a better move for MLB at the end of the day. That's how people felt. And there's other cities that are looking for expansion teams now as well. So the next question, what if a group makes a strong effort to attract an expansion team to Oakland? Would the Giants be supportive or actively discourage it? Quote, I balance what's good for baseball and good for the Giants, and I have no direct answer on that one.
Yeah, that was the one that I sent you.
Yeah.
Look, first of all, I feel Jay on that. I talked about the 510 day. I thought it was ridiculous. Okay, we know what the vote is. Now, we have talked to some baseball aficionados. They said, hey, maybe the Giants could have voted.
Sampson said
could have voted yes. Doesn't sound like it, but
you don't want to get in trouble. He says, I don't know, maybe they.
Right,
Yeah.
they could have voted yes, and it didn't matter anyway, so then they swapped the vote, so it would be unanimous. And I want to say, Greg Johnson, at least trying to answer some tough questions. I'll give him at least some kudos for that. But I will.
By answering a question that was asked of you?
Well, I mean, some people just wouldn't. I mean, Jay, do we need to talk? Do we need to talk about the people that we don't hear from? Because there are people we don't hear from, and for different teams.
I get it.
I'm just saying, he sat down. He went as far as he stood. You don't have to like the business somebody stands on, but he did say, yeah, there is a lot of overlap. Look, and Whitey's going to get mad at me again for bringing up myself, but I mean, I
didn't see it coming, believe it or not.
No, growing up in the East Bay, that's all I really knew. And really, East Bay, that's more of a Oakland A's
Oh, this is
vibe.
you as a fan.
This is that East Bay is more Oakland A's, or,
sure.
at the time. I was a Giants fan because my mom worked in the city. We got tickets. When I went to Kenyatta College, I knew nothing about the South Bay because that's over an hour away. I didn't know really anything about the South Bay until I went to Kenyatta College. So when I went out there and I, met a bunch of people and they were, more hardcore than East Bay fans because East Bay's more split on the A's, right? So the only reason I bring that up is because he's not wrong. If they went to San Jose, there's a San Jose Giants are out there. It is a Giants area. There clearly would have been overlap.
It's very tricky, I realize. It's bad for business for the Giants to have the A's there, but obviously they don't want to admit that.
No.
And at some point, it's just going to have to be, of course we.
He said, there'd be overlap that we. Didn't really want.
Mm-hmm.
Now that doesn't. You can say bleep him and bleep the Giants. That's fine, but I don't know what team out there would have said yes to it, I guess is my larger point.
I wonder if Sacramento's expansion bid gets off the ground and gets some momentum. We haven't heard any of the details yet, but they're coming. They're coming. I wonder how the Giants would feel about that. I know you brought that point up.
Yeah.
Would the Giants be like, that's far enough away. We don't care.
Yeah.
Because Sacramento, and the whole time I've been here, Jay, which maybe, what year were you? Well, I don't think I've been here as long as you've been alive. But it's always been a Giants town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Majority, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I don't know if that's something that would be a problem. By the way, one more point. David Sampson, this was fascinating. He has this great podcast. He was talking about the attendance in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And because who's their star pitcher? He was just talking about the attendance.
Oh, Alcantara?
Yeah. Sandy. Yeah. And he said, we don't have the fans here tonight, but they love us. And David Sam said, you never say that. You don't talk about
I saw that.
But he also said, okay, they've had 3 games in a row where they've had between 6,500 and 6,800 fans. He said, you can't do that. He said, we used to make up the numbers when I was with the Marlins.
Right.
You buy 4,000 tickets for $1. Then you have, guess what, 10,000 there. Mm-hmm. And that way you prevent the story the next day from being about how few people are in the park.
Yeah. It's kind of hard. It's bad in there.
Yeah.
Especially coming off the WBC.
Yes.
Which blew the roof off.
Right.
Yes.
We know how many people can be in there.
Right. That's neither here nor there. But
Right.
I just thought that was interesting. It's the first time I've heard someone admit to doing that.
Yeah.
I think my whole issue with this, and this is just speaking as an A's fan who was hurt and, jaded, of course, by all means. And I kid and I play and I mess around about the Giants. And the Giants belong in San Francisco. No doubt about it. They have a rich history. As you said, Whitey, the majority of fans, I think, if you're talking about Northern California, and we can meet wherever you want to set the barrier, I truly believe Giants fans, because they were here before the A's, I think they rule the territory. But my main issue with the Giants is, and I didn't read the story, did Baggerly press him on the fact that there would be no you without the A's? And that's my issue is. And I know, Baggerly is a wily veteran in the game, but I would also say he needs the connection. He needs the sources to not press the envelope. He has some good questions.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, without the A's, Mr. Johnson, you're not even here. You're in Tampa.
Yeah, he referenced it. It's a good question. I'll have to go back and see the extent to which they talked about that before this one question where they asked him, are you responsible for the A's moving? That's a good question.
It's just shiesty business. Yeah. And I get that's business. That's the way the game goes, right, fellas? So I understand it. I'm not crying or weeping tears, but it'd be interesting, as you talked about, Alan, sitting down, answering those questions, answering those pressing issues. Let's just get down to the nitty gritty. You're a bad business person when it comes to favors or whatever you want to call it. And that's the truth. And when you admit it, then we'll just, no problem. It's all good. The A's and John Fisher are going to do what they're going to do anyway. But the fact of the matter is you're a scoundrel. You're a snake. You ain't no good. And as
couldn't hear you, Jay.
Yeah,
my money was making too much noise.
There you go, right? Mm-hmm. But I say all that here's the second setup. When the A's walk away and go to Vegas, I'm done as an A's fan. As a Giants fan, how are you, as someone that wants to go to a major league game in this area, I'm out. I'm done.
Well, that was one of the most tone-deaf things the commissioner ever said.
There you go.
What are A's fans supposed to do? Well, root for the Giants.
Root for the Giants,
Yeah.
Why
right.
can't they just root for the Giants?
Yeah.
Do you understand how baseball works?
So you're losing me
Yeah.
as the demographic.
Yeah.
My money is gone,
Mhm.
right? And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So there's a lasting situation after.
We'll have more on that when we come back. We'll take a look at what the A's meant for West Sacramento last year as we get ready for opening night in Sacramento. That and more next, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Frank Caliendo is going to be with us at the top of the hour. He's going to be in town next week, Alan, as you well know. And hopefully, Alan hasn't submitted the paperwork yet that he needs to submit in order to have a chance to attend the show.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got to,
I mean, I got to
take your time and make sure you file these things properly.
It's so funny because the saying is, oh, you have 2 under 2. And I always get caught up because 1 is about to turn 3 this month, at the end of this month. But once they turn 2, it was, oh, you got 2 under 2. Well, 1, I don't know what it's called. I got 1 that's 2. I got a baby and a toddler. Like it's rough sledding right now.
Absolutely, it is.
Last night,
I respect
Whitey,
the heck out of that.
Last night, last night was a full moon. So last night was a full moon, and I was just thinking, all right, we're getting to the next phase here. That's the last thing you should ever think. So,
the next phase of the moon?
No, the next phase of what the baby is doing and the toddler is doing. Because it's almost like you're in phases, right? So I'm feeling good about this phase. We're about to watch the new show. I think, what is it called? It's on Apple TV, and we're about to watch the show, right? We're very excited, and then all of a sudden the monitor, she's breakdancing in the crib, like
nice.
3 different times. So I think it's time for, the next phase is solids, because she's just slugging the milk. So now it's solid. So there's always something, guys. So if I'm leaving my lovely wife to have a night on the town with the fellas, I got to put in some paperwork. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, it's also work-related, Alan.
That's also true. Now, that's different. Hey, babe, I got this social. You know what the job is.
Exactly.
You know what the job is. So I'll be back. But
do you know that Easter is this Sunday because of the full moon? Do you know that whole thing?
I do not.
Okay, you have spring, which because that's your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Spring comes, then you have the first full moon of spring, whenever that is, the next Sunday is Easter. That's why Easter's always different.
Okay.
It's the Sunday after the first full moon after the equinox. Why? No idea.
I got it now.
Yeah.
I got it now.
Yeah, that's why sometimes it's in March, sometimes it's in April.
While we're talking about nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Sacramento, there are a lot of the mailboxes. In Sacramento, this is what I learned. There are not a lot of singular mailboxes, right? Like there's the box that's got all the mailbox. I guess, it's not a P.O. box, but it's a box with all the mailbox. This is where you get there's a central place.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so.
Jay, if you want to jump in here, please do.
No, Jay, you know what I mean.
No idea what we're doing.
I know what he means.
There's all the mailboxes are just one box.
Just trying to follow where you're going.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But those are like in newer kind of communities.
But that's what we have.
Yeah.
Right? So, and our house is pretty much in front of it, so we can see people go back and forth. Guys, Circle of Life, I'm getting baby number 1 ready for school. And, we're reading Little Blue Truck. All of a sudden, I look outside. There is this hawk-looking bird. I'll show you the video. Going to town on another bird on top of the mail thing. Like having breakfast.
Oh.
No.
Not going to town.
No, like having breakfast. It was some type of, I don't know. It looked like it was plucking feathers.
Sure.
So of course I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I haven't seen something like that. So, Tyler Styles is like, hey, what's going on? So I took her outside and I said, hey, you got to look at this. You know what I mean? So she saw it. I don't think she processed it, but it was pretty gnarly to see. I didn't know that they get down with, their own kind.
Well, it probably wasn't its own kind.
Not his own kind, but, some type of kind.
Yeah.
Fellow feathers.
Uh-huh.
Fellow feathers.
Yeah, I'd like to see the picture.
I'll show you the video.
It's not too graphic, is it?
No. It's just, I was, and, my wife's like, hey, you want to show her that? And yeah. Circle of Life.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
You can watch, Beauty and the Beast. You can watch this.
We got opening night tomorrow. The A's. Town. Mm-hmm. The A's, according to a story I believe it was in the Sacramento Bee, sacbee.com, they're going to have sellouts for at least the first 2 nights. Mm-hmm. They've already hit that threshold. But at last check, and this may have changed, there's still some seats available because you can sit on the grass.
Right.
And so they don't really, it's like, it's a sellout. But that doesn't mean there aren't still some seats available on the grass. So first couple nights, looks like sellouts. And in this article, the Bee talked to a couple of businesses in West Sac about what was it like last year. And essentially it was, we did okay, maybe not as much as we thought. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like, some people just wanted to get to the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't the boon that we thought, except for when the Giants were in town. Mm-hmm. So, we talked to the mayor a few weeks ago. We'll see what the A's and what West Sac and what we've all learned after one, really kind of unusual year of baseball here.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. Everybody knows I can't stand attendance gate, and we are climbing closer. Tomorrow, attendance gate begins.
It's gonna be a sellout. It already is.
Right. Tomorrow, attendance gate begins. All the pictures from the media. This is why Sacramento can have a Major League Baseball team. There's so much more that goes into it. But I think it will be exciting, Whitey. And you have a team, when we were talking to Jim Duquette, how the ball flies out of Sacramento. What's funny is Sacramento is not considered an offensive ballpark in the PCL where the River Cats play because all of the ballparks are just insane. Sacramento is actually more neutral.
Yes,
but
yes.
It is still, relatively speaking, very offensive friendly for Major League standards.
Right, but
So-
it's not like at altitude.
No.
like some of the-
Yeah, I mean, they play at
Albuquerque
Utah, Reno, Salt Lake. So it's a little bit different when you're playing. Basically, just
Salt
look up
Lake's
the
in
River
Utah,
Cats.
but okay.
That's right. You look up the River Cats schedule. You know what I mean? It's geography. We get it, Whitey. So I'm really excited. By the way, I forget the name of it, guys, as we've been talking about the food a lot. They are debuting new fries. I think they're called, dugout fries? Okay? So the fries, they got the American cheese on them, then burger sauce and grilled onions. So if you know In-N-Out, very similar to In-N-Out. I haven't got to try them yet, but if you're going to be out at the A's game, one of them this weekend, please try them and let me know because River Cats, I was running around. It was my debut, Whitey. So, I had to focus. But they got some
American cheese?
American cheese. It's just like the animal fries, pretty much. But I haven't got a chance to try them yet. So some new menu items right there at Sutter Health Park. I think a lot of people are excited, Whitey. We're going to see, I don't even know, is all the Sacramento stuff sold out already? Because buying the Sacramento stuff.
You mean the merch?
Yeah, the apparel. That's not the same as, I'm going to go to all these games.
You've seen some of the stuff online, right?
Oh, I've seen it. And I don't have any yet. I know Chris Watkins has been rocking some. So, yeah, I think people are excited. I don't know how long it'll last. I think the A's got to win games. I just think it's going to be pretty similar to last season besides those 916 days. You got a built-in rockin' party every 916 day.
I think a lot of people are waiting for something to get excited about. Last year, it was a fun team, but that terrible, 19 out of 20 losses is like, And, last year, let's face it, the A's, West Sac, there was that pall over the whole thing. Some of it was because of outside media saying, well, this is terrible. And I probably contributed to some of that myself because it was kind of rocky at times. So they have to overcome all those perceptions, and that is not easy to do.
Yeah, we'll have the conversation when it's all said and done. But I do wonder if the A's or if Sacramento doesn't get an expansion team, how will all of this be remembered, right? When we were having initial conversations, it was, hey, it'll still be cool to say, now that you've seen the experience, and I'm talking to all the listeners out there and viewers, shout out YouTube. Now, when it's all said and done, will you still feel as if, hey, I got to take my kid to a MLB game? Will it feel like that? Because when I go, it doesn't necessarily feel like that. It feels like a spring training game to me.
I know. I'm with you. I do think already, a lot of that will hinge on what they actually do, what happens before they leave. But already, I think in the future, people probably will say, oh, yeah, I saw Nick Kurtz as a rookie.
That's true.
Sacramento. What?
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah. So there's something. There's something there.
There's something going on with Frank Caliendo. He's going to be in town next week. He's going to be on our show next on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready.
and get ready for the workday.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Sacramento, get ready because the Sactown Sports Live events calendar is packed with can't-miss shows all season long. It all starts April 28th with Benjamin Todd live at Ace of Spades. Then May 9th, big night, big choices. Laugh with Tim Allen at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Or catch the iconic Seal live at Thunder Valley Casino Resort, happening on the same night. Rock lives on May 16th when Jason Bonham brings his Led Zeppelin evening to Hard Rock Live Sacramento. And don't miss Lenny Kravitz May 22nd at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. June 6th, sing along with Richard Marx also at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Then catch all the summer vibes July 10th with Rascal Flatts at Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic. August keeps the party going with Kane Brown at Ironstone Amphitheater August 16th and Ty Myers August 22nd at Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic. From comedy to rock to country, if it's live, it's here. Check the Sactown Sports Live events calendar and plan your next night out today.
Yo, Palisades crew. Johnny Mosley here, blasting into your Thursday with the Toyota Tahoe Report. The Toyota's locked and loaded, so let's swing open the door, peek at the conditions, and see what Mother Nature is serving up today.
Thanks, Johnny. Thursday at Palisades Tahoe starts with lingering snow showers clearing to broken clouds. Temperatures top out in the low 40s with light winds. Fresh snow on the upper mountain means great spring turns. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Hey, you know who's coming to the Punchline next Tuesday? I think he was just here. He's going to come back next Tuesday, 7:30. You ever seen Frank Caliendo's shows? They're great.
I have not. Not
They're
yet.
Terrific.
Not yet.
And nice enough to join us. It's been a long time. We welcome back to the Drive Guys, the one and only Frank Caliendo. How are you today, Frank?
Doing all right, man. Good to be on with the Drive Guys. I remember when you were just rising.
That's right. That's right. In fact, I was checking your Wikipedia page today, Frank, and there's something in there about the Rise Guys. We appreciate that. Frank used to come on the Rise Guys all the time.
Really?
All the time.
Boy.
Yes.
A staple.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Staple, yes.
Yeah. Very popular here in Sacramento. Yeah. I want to ask you, Frank, you know, we've got Alan here who's a great Raider fan, and he's all excited about Kirk Cousins. Do you have any idea whether Coach Gruden is excited about Kirk Cousins coming to the Raiders?
Yeah, tell you what, we're running those. I had him running green right slot Albacore 2 Y quesadilla the other day, man, out in the Fired Football Coaches Association parking lot. That's the thing about Kirk Cousins. He doesn't even need any practice. He knows how to play because he's been playing the game since he was 2 years old, man. That's what it's all about. Kirk Cousins, he's more than just a cousin. He's a brother, man.
Coach, how much sleep you getting these days? I know when you were.
I don't sleep. I don't sleep at all, man. I don't mean, every once in a while I blink. That's all I have to do. Blink. That's as much sleep as I'm going to get. I'm too busy opening up boxes and doing quarterback classes and doing pizza reviews with Dave Portnoy. I'll tell you what, man. There's a lot to this internet stuff. Being an internet influencer that I am. I was out there on the streets of San Francisco during the Super Bowl doing cadences, man. See these cadences these guys are doing nowadays? That's not a cadence, man. That's a single clap for an act that's not good enough. I'll tell you what, this could get a lot better than that, man.
Well, I thank you, Coach Gruden, for, making me feel a little bit better about my Raiders. But, with the draft coming around, I'm really curious what Mel Kiper Jr. thinks about one. Fernando Mendoza had his pro day. So I'm curious if Mel Kiper Jr. has any thoughts on the Raiders taking Mr. Mendoza from Indiana.
I thought you talk about a tremendous athlete, 6'5", 245 pounds. I think that's what he's at right now. Did the pro day, did a tremendous job setting up, not just throwing the football, but also a leader, talking about what routes his wide receivers are going to be running ahead of time, making his guys look good. And he didn't even have to do that himself. He's got good guys on his side, but helping them be the best they can be, because everybody knows already what Fernando Mendoza is. You look at all the different set of quarterbacks, but I got to believe at the end of the day the Las Vegas Raiders taking Fernando Mendoza with the backup situation that they have, 75-year-old quarterback, doing a tremendous job, still knows what he's doing. I remember Kirk Cousins coming out of the draft same year as RG3, and I said I thought RG3 was going to be the guy for the rest of the eternity, but you take a look at what happened. Kirk Cousins, a veteran now. Stuff, and if you ever want somebody to negotiate for you, have Kirk Cousins do it, because he's making another $20-some million a year. I mean, this guy, people thought he was done in the league. He didn't. I think he was actually going to become a Pirate, not a Pittsburgh Pirate, but an actual Pirate, because he was down to one leg and an eye patch. And I think that's what you're talking about. Kirk Cousins, tremendous situation, and I like their quarterback room and what's going to be all about. Because a lot of people think you go back and look at what did they do in the same division with the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, you had Alex Smith there, and people like, Alex Smith has taken us every year to where we need to be, but not quite to the promised land, just to the hopeful land. And Andy Reid then brought in one Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying that Fernando Mendoza is going to be a Patrick Mahomes type of iconic figure, but you're looking at the same kind of situation. You can get him in slowly, build a situation, and then take a look and let him take over the reins.
I'm just wondering, Coach Gruden, do you think Fernando Mendoza could be the next Rich Gannon?
I'll tell you what, I love Rich Gannon, man.
That
doesn't get much better than that. Listen, I wanted to put Rich Gannon on my wedding cake instead of myself, man. That's how much I like Rich Gannon. When your quarterback's name rhymes with Cannon, man.
Yeah.
Not Cannon Man, just Gannon. Gannon. Don't put the man, Cannon Man.
Yeah.
Cannon Man. That's a great name for a movie, man. I like to see that. Cannon Man. You ever do a cannonball into a pool? You ever do that? Say cannonball, and then you jump. How about the triple Lindy, man? You talk about tremendous. That's Rodney Dangerfield and Back to School did a tremendous job. I talk about almost wasn't Kuiper on that one. Talk about you don't see movies like that anymore. Like an old guy going back to school, like Rodney Dangerfield. People knew him from there. You get the respect kind of lines. At the end of the day, Rodney Dangerfield doing a triple Lindy from the back, from the diving board. That's the best situation you can get in the movie, and you'd be hard pressed to tell me otherwise.
Well, out here, the Kings are in an interesting spot, because we're hoping that the Kings get a top pick. And I'm curious what Charles Barkley thinks the Kings should do if they do get that top pick and they can move on with their franchise player, Chuck.
Yeah, well, these guys, I think that the best thing you could do is trade for Victor Wembanyama. And I know a lot of people say you can't get him, but I think there's a way you could probably get him. Maybe back up a Brinks truck, or there's that. I was halfway to that sentence. I realized that's the dumbest thing anybody's ever said. Besides some of my takes on college basketball, because I have no idea who any of the guys are out there. So I'm gonna say. I think that's a pretty good idea. Where they, I don't follow the Kings because is that too real? I don't follow the Kings, so I don't really know. Are they still a team? You don't even know. They asked me. Shaq was asking me about the Orlando Magic the other day. I said I don't watch the Magic, and he said why not? I said because I didn't even know they were playing anymore. So that's I think it's really you got a great chance to be better. That's something you could do.
Did you watch Charles and Dickie V when they did the first four games?
I did not see that.
So they did a game together. I years ago I did Walton with Walton on a Pac-12 game. It was at Arizona against Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't talk about the game at all, even less than Bill Walton normally talks about the game. That was Dickie V and Charles Barkley. Dickie V's like going, "Oh, he's incredible, he's amazing," and then all Charles had, he didn't know anything about the players, but just
The transfer portal is ruining the game and the NIL, and it's really, really bad for everything in the situation. I think these guys gotta figure out a way to make this better.
and then they just go off on something else, and then Dickie V be like, "What do you think about the center?"
Well, I think the transfer portal is really bad.
But I can't stop watching him. I can't
Yeah,
stop
right.
watching Barkley.
He's
He's
got
my
something.
favorite thing. He's my favorite person to watch on all teams, just because he's going to give you flat out honesty. When I first met Charles, he comes up to me, he's like,
Frank, you gotta keep doing it. I'm like, why is that? Because every time you do it, I end up making more money. It's like I don't even understand why people hear you doing it on radio. Next thing you know, I get a new commercial for Taco Bell or Weight Watchers, which came right after Taco Bell. Must have been 2 minute runs for the board. Now we got GLP-1. I'm doing the fat shot. Got GLP-1, GLP-2, GLP-3. That's why my suits are so big, because I take GLP-34, which is my number, knucklehead.
I have to ask you, Frank Caliendo, with this, and he's going to be at the Punchline Tuesday, 7:30. And I know you've told this story a million times, but talking about, Barkley reacting to your impressions, would you mind telling the story again about Coach Madden and how he wasn't a fan, but then something happened where all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, okay, I understand what it's all about now."
Well, that was a Super Bowl in Dallas. It was the Packers versus the Steelers, and it was the Four Seasons Hotel, and Madden standing in the the lobby, and I'd never met him in like 15, 20 years of milking that impression for everything I could. Jimmy Johnson standing next to him, who I was working with at Fox. I'm like, "Jimmy, can you believe I'm this close to John Madden?" He's like, "What, you met him yet?" He taps Madden on the shoulder. Madden's like, "What is Jimmy?" Oh, and the look on his face was like Shaggy and Scooby when they see the bad guy pop out of the barrel like, "Zoinks," like, "Hey, Scoob, like, let's get out of here, rut-row." So I made his grandkids laugh. That was the basis of the story. And once the grandkids started laughing, he was kind of like, "I get it now." I mean, this guy sounds like me, but he isn't me. And you think he could be me, but he's not me. And then boom, that's a break in the space-time continuum. So I ended up taking some pictures with him. He kind of got it after that. I mean, I don't think he was the hugest fan of it still. I mean, the football people, so, if you're in the club, if you played football, especially with coaches a lot of time, if you played and you've been in the game, guys are more apt to let each other rip each other to shreds. It's more you can have fun. I'm some guy who came along, a comedian doing NFL on Fox stuff, and they're like, "Who's this guy? He's 5'6", he probably runs a 9.6 40." So they're like, what's that about? And the coaches, I mean, they got to have the attention of their players, so they don't want to be, have you looking at them and laughing, even though that happens quite a bit. I mean, I don't know if the coaches are always that aware, but he came around somewhat enough, I think.
And Gruden was a big fan, or is a big fan,
Well,
isn't he?
yeah, Gruden gets. He was already in broadcasting, though. Although when he came back with the Raiders, he invited me.
Right.
I mean, that's the crazy thing. I have 2 game balls from doing pregame speeches in the preseason. So that's another thing. Like, it's unbelievable. I have 2 game balls. There are linemen that have played 10, 15 years, and maybe closer to 10, but 10 years. And been in the trenches and never gotten any credit for anything, never gotten a game ball. I've spoken before 2 preseason games where they won, and I've got 2 NFL game balls all done up and spray painted with Raider stuff on it. So it's pretty insane.
Well, I just, Frank, I didn't know if you knew this, but apparently Morgan Freeman is getting into some type of play-by-play. Did you hear about that?
Well, Sonny, I think I just climbed through 500 yards of the most filthy slop I can't even imagine. Or maybe I just don't want to. Was there something we were supposed to do play-by-play of? Because we could do that, Sonny. I might not do it well, but I can do it the best I have.
You know what it is he's supposed to do?
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, you got the Raiders with their new QB taking on Patrick Mahomes. That's what's going on.
Ah, yes, Patrick Mahomes. A man who sounds like a Muppet, but plays like a hero. And Fernando Mendoza. We're about to find out what he's made of. Truth is, we weren't really sure, but eventually we'd be finding out.
Did you have anything, Jay? For great,
You guys are working me, man. You guys are this is the. Can I get some plugs for the show?
Yes. Punchline.
Yeah, this is
7:30 show, right, Frank?
I think so. I know frankonstage.com gets you to the I think the tickets are on Ticketmaster, but it's Sacramento Punchline, frankonstage.com next Tuesday night, and I think you're right. I think it's 7:30. And there's probably like 20 tickets left or something like that. But I like the clubs, and that's why I stay out of the arenas. I do. I mean, it's more. It's not. It's obviously not that. But I do have fun at the clubs because I mess around a lot like this and come up with new stuff all the time. So that's that. And then I'm doing San Francisco on Wednesday. I'm doing Cobb's Comedy Club on Wednesday. So all those tickets. Tuesday Sacramento at the Punchline, and then Wednesday Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco. frankonstage.com for all those tickets.
Yeah, I've had the privilege of seeing you backstage. In fact, when you did a show here at the Crest, I'll never forget this.
Wow.
You're getting ready to do your show, and I'm sitting there talking to him, and afterwards I got done. I realized he probably really wanted to focus on his show. And there I was, hey, Frank, how you doing? Yeah.
No, I don't really. Beforehand, I just kind of go out there and go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually better for me to, if I'm working on like total new stuff, that might be difficult, but especially, like when we did the Crest Theater, that was me. That's probably a more polished version of what I was doing at the time. So now it's really getting from point A to point B and trying to find new things. And it's all the crazy thing is people will watch me and afterward they're like, how many times have you done that joke? I'm like, that's the first time tonight. I don't even know where that came from. So that's the fun for me. And there was a while where I lost that and wasn't having that much fun, but I kind of came back around. And I think when my kids were little and I was missing my kids grow up a little bit, I think I was always trying to get back home. Now they're older and I just, don't care to see. I've seen them enough. No, my kids are 20. My son's 21. My daughter's 19. So, and they're in college and just graduated from college. So it's a little different. But it's been good and been having fun.
Hey Frank, I think I saw you on Andrew Santino's podcast a couple months ago, and I was telling the fellas how you were talking about how you manipulate your jawline and tongue and cheek and lips on how you go about some of these impressions, and I was kind of following what you were talking about. Are there people that you consistently work on before you debut it, or is it something you said naturally you just come out and do it?
No. As far as working on the impressions themselves, it takes a long time, and they're not good enough to do right away. But that thing you're talking about was, and people have probably heard or seen me do it before, but it's the Kermit the Frog, Fozzie Bear. Kermit, hi, Kermit the Frog, Fozzie Bear, ah, waka, waka, waka. So it's a nasal and a throat thing, and you can manipulate. And Kermit the Frog, bring it down, becomes John C. Reilly. Add some air. Did you touch my drum set, by the way? Add some air. It's Mark Ruffalo. Bring it down even more, Paul Giamatti. And then you could add a little bit of rumble in there. It's Patrick Mahomes. And, Patrick Mahomes, by the way, sounds like a little kid trying to tell you about another kid that just got hurt. And he just runs up to the adults. He's like, and it was, and he fell and he landed on his knee. And when he landed on his knee, something scraped it and it was bleeding profusely. And so I'm going to need a Band-Aid and some Bactine and anything else that could help us. Okay. Is he going to survive? Yeah. I mean, he's fine, but I just want to make sure that we clean it up.
I got one for you if we could. You have Coach Gruden, Coach Madden, and I believe you still do Al Pacino, who was the coach in Any Given Sunday. What if you had a coach's corner here with the Drive Guys, Pacino, Madden, and Gruden, and they're talking about how they would coach a football team made up of the members of the Avengers?
I tell you what, man, I'd love to coach the Avengers, man. They already got a leader, Captain America. He's the Fernando Mendoza of the Avengers. A lot of people think it's Tony Stark, but I'll tell you what, man, Tony Stark, he might be more of a Kirk Cousins. He's kind of injured at times, right? That's what we're talking about.
I mean, if you take a look at, you got the Thor, the God of Thunder, and then you got Black Panther, and you got, there's so many different Avengers. You got Captain America, Spider-Man. I think he's an Avenger. He might be a new Avenger. People talk about all these. When they battle Thanos, I mean, you think, hey, and Falcon, he says on your left, and then boom, he's on Captain America's left. So I mean, whoa.
Those Avengers, they fight for every inch of every foot of every yard. Or in Europe, they do it in the metric systems, but I don't know that. So that's what they're doing there, fighting their way, trying to figure it out. Now you got the Fantastic Four, you got the Thing, and you got the Human Torch who says flame on, and then boom. I mean, he's on fire. I mean, that's the thing about the Human Torch. When he's not on fire, he's a cool guy. When he's on fire, boom. I mean, he's eating up. I mean, that's just, and there you go.
I'll tell you what, man. Sounds pretty good. Talk about tremendous set of assets. You take a look about Mr. Fantastic. High ceiling, tremendous ability, the incredible wingspan. I think Mr. Fantastic, I think, the fact of the matter, I think he's got what, like a 2-mile radius he can do with his arms? I mean, they talk about you look at the end of the day, that's what he got. I got a guy with that kind of wingspan. You send him out, you put him up, and he's going to get any ball that's up for grabs. And Fernando Mendoza to Mr. Fantastic. At the end of the day, that's my team, and you'd be hard pressed to tell me otherwise.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Have you seen this guy, the Incredible Hulk, man? That guy. I'll tell you, you try blocking the Hulk. That's not going to happen, man. David. I'll tell you, Bruce Banner was David Banner back in the day when I was a kid watching The Incredible Hulk. But Bruce Banner, I'll tell you what, his secret, he's always angry, man. I'll tell you what, that's how you want your guys on defense. You want them always angry, man.
Mm-hmm. So you're putting the Hulk.
You try and block the Hulk. Yeah. You try. He's not only that, he's an intelligent guy, man. The Hulk, he's Professor Hulk. That's pretty good stuff right there, man.
That's very good stuff.
That is outstanding.
Yeah, Punchline on Tuesday at 7:30. We're hoping to see you out there, Frank. Thank you so much for your time.
Can I just say one thing? Please. The transfer portal is destroying the Avengers. They came through all those portals. It's really bad. The NIL. These guys, I really don't like what they're doing, but that's the game we live in, guys.
Chuck, you said the NIL, the transfer portal is destroying the Avengers?
Yeah, they came through those portals. Yeah, it was ruining Thanos more than them. That was really bad.
Yeah.
If you were a pro Thanos, and there's some people that were pro Thanos out there, I think they're knuckleheads. But you got to understand, there's different people that come up differently. And I think the pro Thanos people are like, these portals are ruining the movie. But for everybody else, they love when they came through the portals because it saved the Avengers when, Tony Stark snaps and then boom. I mean, it's a whole different movie all of a sudden.
You have anything else, Alan?
I got nothing else.
Yeah. Frank, we appreciate it. It's great catching up with you. We hope to see you out there again. Punchline. Where do we go to get ticket information, Frank?
You don't even have to spell Caliendo. So frankonstage.com, Punchline Sacramento on Tuesday, Cobb's Comedy Club on Wednesday. In San Francisco. So frankonstage.com for tickets.
All right. We'll see you out there. Thank you so much, Frank. We hope to talk to you
again
very soon. Yeah.
Appreciate
Take it easy. The one and only.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Frank Caliendo. That's how that works.
Okay. I got it now. That was fun.
Yeah. It's just like a reflex, huh? It's like, sometimes you're trying to be funny or something's like, oh, I got to do this, got to do that. Mm-hmm. He's just like, here it is.
Right. That's right. Mm-hmm. But no, I needed you and Jay to break through the impression time. You know what I mean? We handled that the way we needed to handle it.
Yeah. Well, also, he kind of like, hey, I need some air.
But he said it after mine, so I felt like it was on me. So then I said, hey, you guys, you good. You good.
It is amazing though how he can switch on a dime. Mm-hmm. And I know, and hence why I asked him that question. It's not an overnight thing, right? It's something that you consistently work on, just like anybody's craft. We consistently worked on to get it to where we're at here. But it is amazing how fast it just turns.
Well, and I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he did a lot of stuff on the radio before, and he could always do that, but it seems like now it's like even faster somehow. Mm. It was always fast, but now, I mean, some of those that he did on our show, it was almost like you couldn't tell where one ended and the next one started. Yes. It was so quick.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, and just so everybody is aware, he said frankonstage.com. I know you have, Whitey, and I think, Jay, you said too. Can you tell some of the listeners and viewers, because just for me, I see his clips on social media and him on podcasts. How do his shows typically go? Right? Is it impressions and then a little bit of stand-up? Can you just, for those that are out there maybe, curious about going?
It's a lot of, and I haven't seen his show in a while. It sounds like his show is a little more freeform.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw the more structured show that I think he was talking about. And it was stand-up and it just working in all the stuff. And, not always, like he said, not always the same.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, it sounds like he's almost doing more like workshop stuff, almost improv.
Right.
So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've only seen him one time, and there was a second time I was supposed to see him, but wind up not going for whatever reason. But it's kind of what you said, Whitey. He is himself, right?
Yeah.
And then as he tells the jokes, he infuses the person that he impersonates. Or did you watch TV last night? And,
Right.
then he's kicking into, Seth Rogen or something of that nature.
Okay.
I just saw him do Gronkowski for the first time not too long ago.
Really?
Yeah. I was going to ask him, but I was like, we're wearing him out here. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. And I didn't want to ask him about somewhere. He goes, I don't really do that. So
Right.
he stuck with the tried and true.
Yeah. I've seen him do Gronkowski not too long ago because, his staple, his kind of first beginning was on Fox for a very short time on national television.
Well, he's on Mad TV.
Mad TV.
For a while,
Yeah.
Then he had his own show.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so I saw him do Gronkowski, and I was like, that's funny because Gronk is kind of everywhere, but he's kind of, I won't say witty, but he kind of talks everywhere. He's a little everywhere with it. So
Right.
it was interesting to see him do Gronk, and it was funny. But
Yeah.
more times than not, he's just, he has a bit, but he infuses the impersonations in between.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I know he said he didn't think there were many tickets left. And I had checked last week and maybe it was this week, and I had found the same thing. So if you want to go, you should jump on those tickets. Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we'll see you out there because we want to go. We're trying to get our buddy Al to come out.
I'll be
get
there.
Larry out there.
I'll be there. That's all I needed to see. I'll be there.
Hello, Larry.
When we come back, what is happening in the NBA? And there's also some good news for the NBA that's not such good news for Kings fans. We're back with that and more. Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Pelicans. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Now you've got a place for all things dance.
The all-new Energy 100.5 HD2.
Where dance music lives. Dance vibes anytime and any place when you get the free Now 100.5 app.
Or listen at 100.5 HD2.
NBA fans don't just watch the game, they live it. So stream like you're courtside with NBA League Pass, your ticket to all the action. Watch your favorite team shine and catch the league's brightest stars and rising stars at the same time with multi-view on your favorite devices. From the plays you can't believe to the most live games and the drama that comes with it. If it happens on the court, it's happening on NBA League Pass.
Only select out-of-market games available. Blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Today is National Burrito Day, and to celebrate, Jim Boy's is selling a snack-sized Parmesan-crusted burrito called a Snackerito in 3 delicious flavors for just $4.95. Go by and visit your local Jim Boy's and enjoy today.
There are many reasons to choose Gonzalez Law Offices. As a dedicated trial lawyer with an undefeated record from 2016 through 2019, and you'll know that no case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars, as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by national trial lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187.
Five Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Yeah, thanks for being with us. We're just kind of decompressing after talking with Frank Caliendo and just hearing him and watching him work his brand of magic.
Yeah.
And so that'll be up on the website soon, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll be here next Tuesday. But if you want tickets, you better hurry and grab them.
Don't waste time.
Yeah. Just like if you want to go see the A's tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. I think there's more tickets available Sunday, but I'm not sure. You better jump on those tickets, Alan. Opening night tomorrow, once again in Sacramento.
You going to be there?
No.
Okay.
I will not be.
Jay, you going to be there?
I will not be.
Nothing against it. I'm not gonna be there.
I'm still out on the whole thing.
See, I think we got to spend some time because I don't know if I know Jay's take on everything.
I'll tell you this, and I know you know this because you were doing the crossover as well as I was, but Matt George tomorrow night not going to the Kings game, going to the A's game.
Yeah, and look, going back to when the news broke, it was during the midday show, and that was one of the wildest days of radio I've ever done. And the main thing, going back to some of the conversations that we've had about, hey, if you've, never been in somebody else's shoes, then, just try to keep that in mind, whatever the case is, because I know that this was probably Matt is a good example because it's probably a tough situation for him because he's been an A's fan. He's obviously from Sacramento. He wants to take his kiddo to the game. So I'm sure there are a lot of people in situations like that where they're not necessarily fans of John Fisher, but they're going to be here either way. So, get these memories while you can. And, the number one thing I've always said, whether it's, it's never supposed to be Sacramento versus Oakland, anything like that. But I've always said, look, man, just let people do what they want to do. If you're from Sacramento, you want to go to the game, go to the game. If you're from Oakland, you want to say bleep the A's, that's cool. But you don't need to be in anybody's face, what are you doing supporting Fisher? Just let it go. Just let people do what they're going to do. And I think there's some bucket lists. I think that's the other thing too, Whitey. I don't think enough people, assuming they get to year 3, which that's what they're under contract for, I think a lot of the bucket listers will be done by then. And then I think year 3 is going to be rough. So it'll be interesting how that lines up. And I know it's not supposed to matter as much, but it'll be interesting how that lines up with the expansion conversation because of the optics. Because if you're in year 3, Vegas is basically done, right? And A's fans are, Sacramentans are saying they're on the way out. Like, it is what it is. Maybe they'll be good by then or very good by then. But you could have probably the worst attendance gate ever in year 3 just because Everybody's crossed it up their bucket list. If they're good, it's one thing. But if they're not good, then it turns into they're on their way out. They got all these promotions for Vegas. I already went. It is what it is, man. But thank you. We'll see you on the other side.
It was encouraging to talk to Jim Duquette today when I asked him about a work stoppage. He didn't really have any insight other than to say, boy, baseball's on a roll. You'd like to think that somebody's going to be able to figure out how to avoid a really damaging work stoppage when everybody's winning right now. The whole industry is winning. So we'll see. But as far as the A's go, we're going to know a lot more about Sacramento and Major League Baseball and our chances of having it here long term after we find out in May, just next month now, about Sacramento's expansion bid, I should say. And it sounds like they know what they're doing. It's just going to be a long putt. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
Given the limited number of spots available, the head start of other cities. I understand why Sacramento entities have decided we might as well try. I get that. And hey, we're bringing the A's. Being a long-time Oakland A's fan, that's difficult for me. But I understand it from Sacramento's perspective. Like, we have not been at it as long as some of these other cities like Portland, Salt Lake City, Nashville. If we have the team here for a while, maybe that helps us in a way to show MLB, look, we're great partners, and maybe you make up some of that ground. My understanding is that MLB and Oakland, they didn't not get along. Yeah. Maybe things have changed in Oakland, but Sacramento and MLB, my understanding is getting along great.
We'll see how much that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how much.
Can't hurt, but yeah, you're right. I mean, may not matter.
Yeah, we'll see how much that matters. And yeah, it's interesting, the idea that, we were talking about Disneyland, and what are they called? Not Fast Pass, whatever it is, when you can skip the line.
E-ticket?
Say it again.
The Genie, right?
E-ticket? Used to be an e-ticket.
Yeah, I think it's the Genie.
The Genie?
Yeah,
okay. Well, ask Matt George. I'm sure he knows. But the Genie, it's almost no. It's almost as if the city of Sacramento is trying to use the A's as the Genie, right? To maybe skip the line a little bit ahead of some of the teams or the cities that have been at it, like you said, Whitey, like Salt Lake and others. So we'll see if it works. We'll see if it works.
Got a ways to go. And then even after we find out what our stadium plans are, we don't know how long it's going to be before baseball. They haven't actually decided to expand yet.
That's right. And
you can't really decide to expand, pardon me, when you have this work stoppage. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Adding 2 teams, let's get through this first.
Right. Can we pay have the teams that are playing right now actually pay? But yeah, I think the one thing when we talked to David Sampson, when he said, hey, that media stuff, that media size stuff, his opinion, but he's very, well-versed. That media size stuff does not hit the way I think a lot of people think it hits, because that was, whether it's Kayla Anderson or whoever. Well, come on, it's, Salt Lake versus, the media out here in Sacramento. It's bigger than you think. According to some people out there, it don't matter. Does not matter the way that we would hope that it would matter. Might matter more for the Sacramento State conversation and, we're getting into the MAC and things like that. But according to those that we've talked to on these airwaves, the media thing is not as big of a deal as maybe it was, 10 years ago.
I think what happened with the Oakland A's, part of it was, and it was unfortunate the way it was handled and was kind of disingenuous the whole time. And I think they were fans were driven away so that baseball could go, look, no one's going to the games.
Yeah.
But I think the 2 teams in one market is kind of a relic left over from the days of when the American League and National League were separate. They're kind of competing. So it's like, they have a team in the Bay Area. We want a team in the Bay Area. Now it's all under one roof. So it's like, why are we competing with ourselves?
Right. Yeah, the best thing that happened for those that wanted to get the A's out of Oakland, when A's fans, and look, it's a rock and a hard place. I got a bunch of friends that are A's fans, but
you got 2 of them in this room.
That's right. When it turned into, hey, the boycott thing, it's
the reverse boycott?
Well, no, the actual boycott where people just weren't going to games. That's where it was. Oh, we got you. And I know the idea of the reverse boycott was to say, hey, we can show up like this whenever we want. It didn't hit like I think they wanted it to hit, but that was on purpose. You know what I mean? It was never going to be accepted the way we all know A's fans wanted it to work. So it just stunk, man. It just stunk.
Yeah, the thing that stunk is you go back and you look at some of the efforts that apparently were being made, rooted in Oakland, like we're committed to staying here, and you just wonder, were they ever really, or were we just being played? And that's the unfortunate
Netflix
part.
Story.
Yeah,
it'll come out eventually.
Maybe so. Speaking of baseball, there's been a lot of guys in the news this week, unfortunately, that we're concerned about, from Jaden Ivey, Tiger, Puka Nacua, and I know there's serious stuff going on. I honestly think that somebody that needs to be looked after is, and people joke about it, C.B. Buckner.
Yeah.
I mean, that play a couple days ago where there's a play at first base, second baseman spins, throws it over the first baseman's head, and I think it's Jake Bowers of the Rays. He runs down to first base, he steps on the base, and he turns around, and they throw over and they tag him, they call him out, and C.B. Buckner says he never touched first. He clearly touched first, and the umpire is right there. This isn't like, I could see how he might have missed that. I mean, if you have an umpire that can't tell when a guy steps on first base, are you okay?
Did you see the next, I believe, maybe not the next day, but I think yesterday, did you see him get smoked on that
I heard about
foul
it.
tip?
Yeah. That's a whole nother thing.
Remember that VH1 show they did Best Week Ever, where they would just talk about celebrities having a really good week or whatever it is? Yeah, he's having probably the worst weeks ever these last couple weeks.
Wasn't it 5 missed calls in one game?
At least.
As the home plate.
Yeah, at least.
And then, but seriously, I know we all say, were you blind? But bro, he stepped on first base. And you're right there, and you're the umpire. Are you okay?
I do wonder, though, how it is coinciding with, his missed calls coinciding, obviously, with ABS. Is it nerves now? I don't know if it's, we don't know, but maybe it's not physical. Maybe it's just, these guys are getting thrown into a whole new world.
I think umpires can choke just like players sometimes.
Yeah.
When the stakes are really high and they know everyone's watching, I can't make a mistake. I don't know what just happened, but I got to call something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he should at least be checked on, just because if I'm Rob Manfred.
He should not be umpiring.
Well, if I'm Rob Manfred, hey, this is a whole new situation for everyone, so I'm just checking in to make sure, your mentals and your chickens are good. Let's just start there and then make an assessment. It doesn't have to be anything too crazy, but, hey, I'm just checking in real quick.
Yeah, wishing him the best.
Yes.
And Puka and Jaden Ivey and Tiger, too. Tiger's finally getting help, though.
Yeah.
I think.
There's more. Did you see more video and photos from Tiger? Not great.
Do you watch those?
No.
I don't either.
No. I mean, I see it come through, and, I just saw, people are just, because it's the internet, they're memeing and I mean, even like real accounts from teams, like everybody is using the meme. I think the Giants flagship did when they got swept. So, everything is a joke now, I guess. And look, I love to joke. I don't know where the line is, and I like my checks to cash, so I'm going to stay in my lane. That's where I'm going to stay.
Yeah. There was that line clearly stated before, that was crossing the line, right?
Yes.
There was a time when.
Right.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I mean, I don't know. When things get memed, I just think it doesn't come off as real. Like, these are real things that are happening.
Yeah. It's just not as funny. We're not in the third grade anymore.
Well, yeah. Well, it depends, and there's the whole comedy thing, right? Comedy. Now, Frank doesn't feel like he does that type of comedy, but
He never has.
Then there's the, hey, is comedy dead? Well, depends on what you laugh at, I guess. It's tough.
Teams, including the Kings, lit up the scoreboards last night. What is going on in the NBA? We'll come back and wrap things up with that and more on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton and Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton and Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
This is, I think, really good news for the NBA. I don't think it's great news for Kings fans, but, and I've mentioned this before, Alan J., dear listener, the Lakers may actually be contenders right now. They may actually be contenders.
What's the problem?
It's the Lakers. They're 50-26, and it's been fun the last few years to go, look, they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Oh, they got Luka. LeBron doesn't even want to be there.
They were the 3 seed last season.
Since losing to the Suns on February 26th, the Lakers are 16-2, number 3 offensive rating, 9th best defensive rating, 4th best net rating. So they beat Houston 2 nights after, let's see. Well, they had that 9-game winning streak is what I was talking about there. So anyway, it seemed a while ago, not that long ago, February, that was a laughable notion. Are the Lakers contenders? Yeah, right. And now it looks like they might be, Alan. 3rd place in the Western Conference once again, the Lakers.
I mean, they added...
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
No, they added Luka to LeBron. What are we talking about?
It didn't work at first. It wasn't working.
They were the 3 seed last season. They had to work some things out, but this was always going to happen. I don't know that they're going to win the whole thing. I don't even know if I'd have them picked over the Spurs just because depth-wise, I don't think they have enough. But, they're a respectable team. I don't think they're a threat to win it all, though. Whitey, don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. I don't think they're
Who is? Who would you say are, and I'm not going to, poke holes in what you have to say. Who do you think, which teams are threats to win it all?
Obviously the Thunder, right? Obviously the Thunder. And I'm always going to, in the East, the Pistons are still pretty tough without Cade, huh?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Pistons, Celtics, Cavs. I already know what it is with the Knicks. We know what it is with the Knicks. It's just too much Brunson. You talk about the 3-and-D situation, Whitey. Mikal Bridges, Karl Anthony Towns is probably overpaid, and he's probably more of a 3 as far as a scoring option. Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby is just not enough. So, I would go Cavs, honestly.
Look at this in the East, by the way. Last 10 games. Detroit 7-3, Boston 8-2, Knicks 7-3, Cleveland 7-3, Atlanta 8-2, Philadelphia 7-3. These teams are getting ready for the postseason.
Yeah.
But I know that they were talking about this morning on Carmichael Dave's show. Scoring was crazy last night. 13 teams last night exceeded their points per game average. And Denver leads the league 121.4 points per game. 11 teams last night scored more than that. We saw some of it with the Kings game. The scores last night were very high. A lot of offense last night, Alan.
Yeah, and that's what you've kind of talked about, right? Defense
153
optional.
131, 130 101, 147 129, 130 119, 145 126, 123 115, 130 117, 127 113 last night.
And we're worried about drafting Darius Acuff with the 4th pick. That's what we're worried about. We're worried about that.
I don't want Trae Young 2.0.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what we're worried about. Come on, man. These guys putting up banana ball. This is banana ball.
But look at the teams that you just listed, the teams that you think have a chance to win.
Mm-hmm.
Teams that legitimately have a chance to win it all, and look where they are in their defensive ratings.
No, I hear you. I'm just
they're the top teams.
But that's a team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not comparing, but when the Warriors had a top defense, that wasn't because of Steph. And I get it. He's not, you know what I mean? I'm not saying Darius Acuff is going to be Steph, don't get me wrong.
The Warriors were a really good defensive team.
But that's what I'm saying. You just have to build. I think the problem is if you get Acuff, now you have to find, I guess, not Shea, because obviously they're both guards, but some two-way superstar, which
you need Klay Thompson.
Yeah, right. So not even a superstar, just a really good player. So you got to hit twice. I'll tell you what, though, going back to the Thunder, every time I look up, I know it's just been a tough year. There's no way Jalen Williams has played more than 40 games. And they just paid that brother. I know he can't stay healthy, guys, but I'm looking at a trade block. I would not be surprised if Jalen Williams gets moved because they can't pay these guys forever. And he hasn't played this season.
No, Santa Clara or Arkansas, sorry.
Okay, thanks, Fitz.
What?
Oklahoma, Santa Clara.
Santa Clara, yeah. That wasn't your fault. I botched it first.
Defensive rating, Oklahoma City Thunder, number 1, Detroit Pistons, 2, San Antonio Spurs, 3, Celtics, 4, Timberwolves, 5, Rockets, 6, Raptors, 7. What a bad loss.
Mm-hmm.
How could you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Knicks, 8,
Do you know what their coach was so upset about last night? He was yelling at one of his assistants.
He's like Ime Udoka. He's always upset. Every time I see the Raptors coach, he's upset. Every time I see Ime Udoka, he's upset.
Yeah.
There's just some coaches, like if you were, I know you coached a little bit, Whitey, but I'm trying to figure, I want to believe that I'd be Dion, but I'd probably be all over the place. Let's be honest. I wouldn't be cool, calm. Like Jay would be cool on the sidelines. I would be freaking out.
Jay would be, my guess would be, if Jay was coaching young people, he'd be very cool.
Yeah, for
if
sure.
Jay was coaching his peers or people that had played as much as he had, he would not be Mr. Hey, what's up?
Yeah,
he would be Mr. Catch the
ball.
That's what I think.
By the way,
you merely adopted the dark.
Giants Mets is on MLB Network today, so it's their featured game. If you're listening and you're outside the area, every time I look up, Whitey, a couple things are happening. Every time I look up, right, like I said, Jalen Williams can't get on the court, right? There's certain things that have been consistent. And every time I look up, Tony Vitello is doing an interview. If there's one thing Tony Vitello is going to do, it's an interview. And I looked up during, I think it was before Frank, and I looked up to my left, Tony Vitello was doing an interview.
Don't you think part of that is because the producers are saying, you got to talk to this guy. We don't know what he's going to say.
Stop that.
No, I think that's true.
Stop it.
And I'm not saying he always says something crazy, but he said enough where you know how producers are.
Yeah.
Producers are like, we got to get that guy. You have no idea what he's going to say. And most times he doesn't really say anything.
I don't think so.
Who was he? Was he talking?
I agree with that.
Was it Kanye he was talking about last week?
I don't recall that.
Okay.
No, I don't recall that. By the way,
maybe that was a joke.
Again, this is just a clip. He goes, Tony Vitello talks about his philosophy involving the bench and mentions Casey Schmidt's learning experience at first base. Here's a quote, Whitey. There's no agenda with the lineup other than trying to win the game. Can you help me out here? What would another agenda be? In this specific situation, right? It's not like we're forcing Eldridge to play first. Like what? I don't know what.
The Dever stuff is kind of interesting, and I hadn't thought of this, and I should have.
Oh, yeah.
I should have because I watched San Diego a lot, and last year Arise played first base exclusively. That's what he did last year.
So I see what the agenda would be, hey, we promised Arias second, so even though he's better at first than Schmidt, and Schmidt is better than Arias at second.
There you go.
Whitey!
Yeah.
Jay, we got the real Inspector Gadget in here now. He's back, Jay. I'm so glad he's back, Jay.
I don't know what his numbers were, but Arise last year, he's not a great infielder, but he's a pretty good first baseman.
Yeah. You're spot on.
Yeah.
You're spot on there.
So that is kind of, and I guess Arise said yesterday, not that anyone cares about the Padres, but it relates to the Giants. He said the Padres wanted him back, but he went to the Giants because they said you could play second.
Wow. There's no agenda. No agenda. Give me another interview.
By the way, your guy, Jalen Williams, this year, Santa Clara, not Arkansas, he's played in 30 games.
Crazy.
He's played, his last 5 games were the 29th, the 27th, 25th, 23rd, and, well, the last 4 games he's played well. 22, 18, 7, 18, 28.
How many games did he play last season?
Last season he played in a lot of games, Alan. He played in 69. In his career, 75 games, 71 games, 69, and this year he's played in 30 games. But he's averaging 17.3 a game.
Well, I'm just saying.
They're just trying to make sure he's not shooting the 3-ball well.
Yeah. Well, he's not out. You got to get the rhythm. I'm just saying they can't keep all those guys, and they know that. So if I'm choosing between, I can't pay Shea, Chet, and Jalen Williams, it's kind of an easy answer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if I don't think it's this, obviously, this upcoming season, but they're going to have to make a decision soon. I know that. That second apron's coming.
Tuesday, March 31st, from Yahoo. Giants, Tony Vitello said another weird thing, this time about Kanye.
Oh, no.
You didn't see that?
Maybe I did.
Yeah. Okay. I really don't feel like there's been a tightness, like waiting for bad things to happen or guys yelling at each other. I just think there's been an emotional charge of really wanting to do well. If you ask Kanye, I think he's out with a new album. If you try hard, you die hard. Strange fellow, but he didn't miss much on the music. Not that you asked, end quote. That's your boy. That's why producers want to talk to him.
Huh. Okay, yeah. I got nothing. I got nothing.
Your voice is getting really high.
Yeah, I got nothing. Hey, man, just win some games.
Mm-hmm.
Just win some games.
No agenda, just win some games.
I'm just excited. The Giants, I know they win championships, but they've always been boring. Woo!
Wait, what? They what? The Giants what?
Win championships.
W-H-E-N? You mean W-H-E-N win championships?
Yeah, win.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's been a while.
Whitey.
And that was 3 in 80 years almost.
Look, guys. Look, all I'm saying is I like a little bit. Look, certain spice is good spice. Jay, allspice, that Laurie's. I like, the Kinder's blend.
Okay, I like the Kinder's blend.
Kinder's blend gets you right.
That's
right.
right.
The type of spice we need on the Giants.
Alan, I didn't know this. You may have known this. Vitello's quoting the song "Can't Tell Me Nothing," which has a line that goes, "'Cause when you try hard, that's when you die hard."
I recall.
Yeah. Okay.
Long time ago. When the Giants were winning.
Yeah.
That's when it was.
Great to be back. Thanks, guys, again for picking me up. Let's do it again tomorrow. What do you say?
I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, you need to stick around and listen, Alan, because Golf to Go is coming up next.
Will do.
Yeah. Right here on Sactown Sports.
Can't wait.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.